On the planet Vegeta, a powerful warrior had been born with a power that exceeded 10,000 power units, which was crazy for a newborn because his parents Bardock and Guinea were low-class Saiyans who were surprised. I can't believe Kakarot's power even surpasses mine already. His power is amazing.
I agree with you, Bardock, but in the same way he needs the incubator machine, since being born prematurely he's not able to breathe by himself.
I agree with you, Guinea. At least he should be in the incubator for about 2 months.
Yes, Bardock. I hope you'll find yourself here when Kakarot's able to leave.
I'll do my best to see the future legendary Saiyan. Bardock, along with his squadron, had gone to conquer several planets by the orders of the Great Frieza. However, in one of their missions, they were able to wipe out all the inhabitants. Wow, the power of these warriors aren't high, but the mental power they were able to execute is insane. It wasn't high at all. That happens to you since you haven't dedicated to your training. Although rumors say that it's because you're with your son.
Is it rumors that your son's been able to be born at 10,000 powers? Is that true?
Before Bardock's able to respond, one survivor would come out of Bardock's back, being able to almost knock him out of combat with a single blow. One of his companions was able to throw a huge sphere of energy, but despite being disintegrated, he kept walking towards Bardock. With a small blow that I've been able to connect with you, you will be able to observe the destruction of your race. No matter how many years pass, you will see how they become extinct. Stop saying stupid stuff, you worm. Good for nothing. Bardock, with a great attack, was able to disintegrate him entirely. But before they were able to celebrate, Bardock would fall out of combat. Although the blow seemed harmless, the damage he caused was crazy. So his companions would take him to the recovery capsule. But while Bardock recovered, he saw little Kakarot as it was his childhood, adolescence, as he even saw Frieza become the legendary Super Saiyan. However, everything in the wake of destruction became much more powerful Saiyan, and having the instinct of destruction, every planet, city, or warrior that crossed his path was eradicated. Apparently, he has completely recovered. It's time for him to come out of the capsule. All the water would be drained, to which Bardock would quickly open his eyes. What the hell was that? What did that bastard tell me? It can't be true. Bardock, are you feeling well, or do you want to continue resting a little more? No, don't worry, I feel completely recovered already. Bardock would dress again in his combat attire, going home, since that same day Kakarot turned 2 months in the incubator. But upon arrival, he would have a vision which Emperor Frieza destroys his entire planet. I can't take this lightly, as even I have some time becoming aware of Frieza's intentions.
Bardock, you've arrived! Kakarot's not awake yet, but he has grown so much since the last time you saw him. What do you think? He has the same hair.
Guinea, now we're sending Kakarot to planet Earth, since I have a bad feeling about Frieza. I'm sure he's about to betray us.
What did you say? How do you think to say something like that? Don't you see he's just a baby? Even if he's already able to breathe on his own, he won't be able to survive.
He'll survive, since his power is more than 10,000 power units. I'll even send him to planet Earth in which there's no powerful warriors.
I hope all this is a great plot, as I don't wish to send Kakarot.
Guinea, if nothing happens in a while, I'll go and get him myself. Don't you think that he wants to send Kakarot to another planet? But I have a bad feeling.
It's okay, Bardock, I trust you. But please, if nothing you say happens, promise that you'll get him.
I swear on my life, Guinea, I won't let Kakarot grow up without his parents.
But Bardock, what do you think if we send him to his brother Raditz?
That's impossible, Guinea. As far as I understand, Raditz is on a mission with the Prince of the Saiyans, Vegeta.
I understand. In that case, let's do it, Bardock. I trust you.
That same night, Bardock was able to steal a capsule and send Kakarot to another planet. So when he arrived, Bardock and Guinea would observe Kakarot for the last time, and Bardock would place his hand on the capsule just like Kakarot. My dear Kakarot, you have to survive. I trust you. Defeat the tyrant of Frieza. The ship would clear completely, going to planet Earth. On the other hand, on the planet Vegito, after only 2 days, Frieza gathered all the sailings on the planet.
It's time to finish with those damn monkeys. And by the way, with a damn child who is able to be born with more than 10,000 power units, I'm sure he would be a great threat in the future.
A huge sphere of energy was beginning to approach the planet. While Bardock with all his power tried to face it, it was impossible for him, because the power of the evil emperor was complete madness. After a few seconds, Bardock's attack would perish completely, and so the destruction of Planet Vegeta was imminent.
Ho ho ho! How beautiful are those fireworks! I'm finally done with those damn annoying monkeys!
Meanwhile, Kakarot continued on, and after a while, he'd been able to reach planet Earth, in which, when he got there, he would form a small destruction through the forest in which he arrived. But no one noticed his arrival since it was a completely desolate place. But an old man named Gohan was able to notice a great brightness in the middle of the forest.
Oh, but what will that big glow in the middle of the nowhere be?
Gohan would approach, realizing that it was a baby, but being able to carry him in his arms, he'd realize how the baby had a tail, and without it, he would take him home. But Kakarot, with the typical Saiyan behavior, made his care very complicated, until Goku had a fall and hit his head, not leaving him out of combat. In this story, it wouldn't happen since his grandfather was able to hold him with great difficulty, making Kakarot not fall into that big ravine.
That's been close. I can't believe I was able to save him even though I almost fell with my little Goku.
So a few years passed in which Goku had noticed a great training that his grandfather carried out. Joining him, however, the time passed, Kakarot's power continued to grow in a great way. So one day, he decided to end his grandfather's life.
It's time to end this damn old man's life, since I can't stand him. I hate his behavior, he talks. I want to destroy everything in my path.
Kakarot, without any difficulty, had been able to end his life, taking a very different path. Arriving to a city in which, being the full moon, Kakarot accessed his Ozaru state, destroying everything around him. But he wasn't able to control himself at all. His destruction wouldn't stop until the morning the next day.
My head hurts a little. I've noticed that I've been able to access the Ozaru state, the Saiyan transformation, but I have to be able to control it.
Kakarot would again access the forest, which he'd begin a great meditation to be able to control his Ozaru state. At the end of the 4 months, Goku would access the Ozaru state again, being able to control 90% of it.
Although I am transformed in this form, I'm able to reason and speak. I've been able to become much more powerful, but I want even more power.
Kakarot in this state would begin to destroy hundreds of cities, leaving them to dust. Meanwhile, the innocent lives one day, Kakarot was able to run to the powerful Master Roshi.
What the matter with you, old man? Don't you see where you're walking? You better apologize or end your life right now. What a challenge for any more impertinent. Don't you know who I am? I don't know, and I don't care. But at this moment, you've been able to irate me, so end your life.
Kakarot pounced on Master Roshi, but to his surprise, Master Roshi was able to dodge all his punches. Because Goku was much more powerful, he still did not have the experience for combat.
I can tell your heart is full of evil, and despite being a child, I will not have mercy on you. I plan to end up with a great technique.
Master Roshi was able to increase his musculature, while in the palm of his hand an incredible power began to collect, which would leave Kakarot amazed, because despite not feeling any of his power, everything around him was shaking.
But what the hell is that damn old man doing?
Master Roshi would throw his iconic technique against Kakarot, completely covering him, but his power was much more superior to that of Master Roshi. He wasn't able to end his life. But Kakarot was able to learn the technique just seeing it because he was a prodigy, and learning a simple human technique wasn't a big deal.
At this moment, I'll leave you alive, because thanks to you, an inept old man, I'm able to learn a new technique. What? How are you able to survive my most powerful technique? And don't say stupid things. It would be completely impossible for you to learn a technique just by watching it. I don't want to end your life right now, but look at the fleet of boats coming there. On them, I'll try the new technique you taught me.
Kakarot would concentrate, being able to create a small sphere in his hands, but the more energy he concentrated, that sphere became larger, which at that moment would throw his technique, being much more powerful than that of Master Roshi, destroying everything in his path. The entire fleet was underwater.
In a short time period, I plan to end your life, so you better become much more powerful. If you have a technique, I could leave you living with something more.
Kakarot would leave at a great speed, but for some mountains in which they would face multiple warriors of a society called the Red Patrol. But it didn't matter what they did, since each of their warriors were very weak on the one side of Kakarot.
No matter what I do, I have to be able to become much more powerful. I have to avenge the death of my parents and end Frieza. I must become the Emperor of Evil.
Kakarot would train. However, there were rumors they were able to take him to the Tower of Master Karen, which Kakarot on this occasion was much more powerful and able to climb it with no problem, being able to reach with a peculiar warrior which had appearance of a cat.
You're the Master Karen. That is so much talked about. You don't look like a simple cat. Ending your life would be something simple.
Master Karen, despite using each of his tenets, was not able to do anything against that Saiyan boy, who was able to drink the sacred water. Kakarot had felt great pain through his body, falling unconscious, but after a few hours, Kakarot would wake up.
What the hell was that water? It knocked me out completely.
Kakarot didn't realize his power increased a little. He realized that at the top of the place he was at, there was a place much further away, but he wasn't able to fly, so climbing at that time was impossible for him.
I'm sure there must be a much more powerful warrior in that place, since in that case he shouldn't be so far away. But for now, I have to leave to destroy the cities that I find around me.
Kakarot was about to destroy a city, then he realized in 3 years, a martial arts tournament would be held in that city, so very powerful warriors from different parts would come to the tournament to show their skills and get a name.
I've changed my mind. Although I'm currently 12, I want to see the warriors who participated are capable of, so I'll go to the mountains.
Kakarot would cease its destruction, entering the mountains, in which, in the same way, he would begin his great training to break his limits. Without knowing it, a powerful warrior was freed who was looking for eternal youth.
If this body I'm still is very powerful, when I get to the eternal youth, no matter what warrior gets in front of me, I'll end him.
This is how Piccolo would get hold of the Dragon Balls, being able to hold the eternal youth, making his power soar in an incredible way. Kakarot would continue meditating. Since being of high class, he knew that meditation had several benefits and would better control his internal energy to not waste energy in vain.
I have to be able to become much more powerful. I can't imagine what kind of new technique the old one taught me, since I'm sure he wouldn't let himself be eliminated easily.
The whole sky would then completely be darkened, because Piccolo had been able to make his wish, being able to get eternal youth.
Ha! At this moment, no matter who my opponent is, nothing and no one will be able to face me this time, since the only way they're able to beat me was by sealing me.
Master Roshi, after feeling this, would quickly go to the battlefield with his disciples Krillin and Yamcha, so the trio of warriors would stare at the Emperor of the planet Earth.
Well, apparently there are still competent warriors.
My master was able to seal you with the most powerful technique. And even if I lose my life, that doesn't interest me. I plan to sacrifice myself to end your evil.
Master Roshi was able to execute this in technique called Mafuba. Piccolo, realizing that, he would try to escape, but Master Roshi wouldn't let him. But a failure in this technique was not allowed. Piccolo would be sealed, while the Master Roshi had a lot of vital energy, being impossible to perform his technique again.
At this very moment, I'm planning to end your existence. I don't thought that there was a warrior who was capable of executing that technique.
Piccolo rushed Master Yoshi, but in the middle, Yamcha and Krillin would get in the way, who would try to attack. Piccolo was the one able to dodge those blows, but he would retreat for a moment.
I'm really bored, so I want to see a big fight. So you guys will face one of my sons.
Piccolo was able to expel an egg from his mouth, from which a new being of the evil family was born, having great power compared to these warriors.
Father, tell me, what do I have to do?
How is that possible?
If he's really your son, how is he able to move so freely from birth?
We're very different from humans. We don't need to grow. We only do it in special cases when we transmit our powers to them.
I don't care what they are. I have no plans to let them end our teacher's life. Father, I'm waiting for your orders.
I don't want to give you a great show, then you end the life or eat them. I'm not interested in what you'll do with them.
Whatever your order, Father.
The son of Piccolo rushed Yamcha and Krillin, who despite having all this training wasn't able to do much against the son of Piccolo because his physical power exceeded them by dozens, being able to humiliate them completely. For his part, Kakarot wasn't able to feel the energy of his enemies and was able to perceive how far the great power appeared and disappeared, because he wasn't able to control his energy 100% of the time.
Apparently, meditation's been able to allow me to feel the energy of various beings, although I'm not yet able to completely control it.
Kakarot would stand up and smile. he would start moving all over the place, and his speed was amazing. So much so that in the matter of minutes, he'd been able to reach the battlefield, realizing how those two were getting humiliated by much stronger warriors.
Ha! I don't care who they are, so I have nothing to do in this place.
Ha ha ha! They're not able to do anything against my evil son, much less they're able to do something against me, a being of the evil family.
Damn it! If we die in this place, there'll be no warrior who'll be able to face it. I have to manage to seal it if I die in the attempt.
Krillin and Yamcha were defeated because of the Son of Piccolo, and being approached by Master Roshi, who despite using his agile movements, his body was destroyed, not being able to do anything against him.
Your physical strength is crap. Although you are powerful, technique, so even my father's afraid of you, but now your end has come. Apparently this has been my limit, being it I won't be able to do anything.
Before the Son of Piccolo was able to finish him, Kakarot would appear in front of the Son of Piccolo, connecting a kick that would end his life in a single blow, which even surprised Piccolo as well as Master Yoshi.
But if that's you, what are you supposed to do in this place? Do you even want to die? No one's allowed to die in this insolent old man, because in 2 years we'll have the tournament, in which he has to teach me one of his techniques.
I'm not even interested in your motives, but at this moment you'll face the evil family, since you've been able to finish off one of my children.
Ha! I hope you've called yourself from the evil family you're powerful, as I don't end your life quickly.
Brat, compared to me, you're a baby, since you have no experience on the battlefield.
Ha! That's what you think if we check my experience on the battlefield?
Furious, Piccolo would lash out against Kakarot, who was able to repel every one of his blows, being able to even make him feel the threat of leaving everyone surprised. His agility possessed was on the battlefield.
This is bad, because no matter who wins, they both possess a power completely full of evil. I have to run away from here.
Master Roshi would try to stand, but he wasn't able to do it, although when he did look up a little, he was amazed to realize how Piccolo was sent flying to the ground with blood expelled from his body.
What's going on? Is this all the power of the member of evil has? I hope that this is just the warm-up, as I haven't even used 50% of my power.
Kakarot has not used any of his power because of his high class. Power had been able to reach up 15,000 power units, which Piccolo for it was impossible, because his maximum power only reached 600 power units, being surpassed by Goku a dozen of times.
Hell, this planet's full of weaklings and good-for-nothing bugs, because even though I've decreased my power as much as I can, I'm not capable of giving me a good blow.
What's this feeling? I belong to the family of evil. How is it possible that a child's able to give me a feeling of terror?
I'm bored of you. You don't even serve as a warm-up, so you better continue meditating so you can destroy everything you like. But if you end this old man, I'll make you suffer in the worst possible way.
Kakarot turned around and was about to leave. Piccolo with great speed would try to hit him, but Kakarot with his reflexes was able to dodge him, while Piccolo would rise in the whole sky.
I agree you possess a great power, but at this moment the beings that are in this city will be blown to pieces, including the old man.
Piccolo, at a great speed, would begin to descend, and Kakarot would smile despite not knowing how to fly. With a burst of energy, would propel himself in the air, concentrating a little of his strength in his fists.
With this simple blow, I plan to end your life.
Kakarot, with his power, was able to execute an incredible blow, being able to represent an incredible Zaru in his fist, because of that blow was of another level, being able to completely cross it.
What? And how is that possible? I can't believe that a simple child was able to beat me. Well, this is not the end of the evil family, as my son will be able to take revenge.
Piccolo, the king of the evil family, was able to spit out a large egg, in which it carried his powers and techniques. Piccolo's body would explode while Kakarot began to approach Master Roshi, who was on the verge of death.
Well, apparently you're in terrible condition, since you're not able to do anything. But I don't plan to let you die since I need your techniques.
Kakarot would stretch out one of his hands, making Master Roshi regain all his power, and raising it even a little more, with which he was able to ask something, but Kakarot had vanished from the battlefield.
Damn, the power that kid possesses is amazing. He was even able to beat the evil emperor. We have to train these 2 years to be able to beat him.
Master Roshi would hold his disciples, leaving quickly, but Kakarot had returned to meditate. The trio of the remaining Saiyans, Raditz, would remember that his brother had been sent to planet Earth.
If we want to face Frieza, we should recruit Kakarot. I don't know how powerful he is, but I'm sure there are 4 of us that'll have more chances.
If you say that he's been sent to planet Earth, it's a waste of time, since that planet's only extremely weak warriors whose power units reach at most 300. If Kakarot's been sent to that planet, it means that he's a low-class warrior. Instead of helping us, he'd only hinder us.
On the other hand, he is right, but we could also use Kakarot's insect as bait because he gets complicated.
Well, that's an idea I like. Because if things get complicated, we'll have to leave Kakarot for Frieza to tear him apart while we escape.
In that case, we have to go to planet Earth.
The trio of warriors started heading towards planet Earth. Meanwhile, in the last 2 years had passed on planet Earth, which it would start the martial arts tournament, in which the most powerful warriors would demonstrate their skills.
So the day's finally come when I can learn something new. I want to eradicate all those bastards and then finish with Frieza's bastard. He'll pay me.
On tournament day, in which hundreds of warriors would show up. However, despite possessing a great musculature, it was nothing compared to Kakarot, because Kakarot was able to release a pressure that only humans was lethal, since they even peed their pants.
Is that really the most powerful warriors? They're trash!
The martial arts tournament started, in which the fight would be Kakarot's turn to fight Tien, which both started staring. I can tell that you have great power since your aura is able to free itself from your whole body. But you'll not be able to follow my speed, much less be able to hit me since my third eye's got no blind spot.
I'm not interested. Even if you have 10 more eyes, you wouldn't be able to do anything against me because those eyes are useless. You won't be able to react.
Combat began. Kakarot was holding back to begin to exchange blows with Tien, who with great difficulty was able to keep up with him. For his part, Master Roshi was watching him completely.
It should be much more complicated than it seems. Since even though he's able to talk to the organizer of the martial arts tournament, so they're able to evacuate everyone. And only the most powerful warriors stay to finish with Kakarot, but his power is amazing.
I could tell that you're confident, but it's a pity, because this time I'll use my special skill, although I must admit that I didn't think to use it in this tournament. Tien would channel that power and was able to create 3 replicas of it, which was an amazing technique, and it took the moment to surround Kakarot without leaving him an escape route. But Kakarot would look and start to laugh.
It's a great technique, I must admit, but you're seriously mistaken. Using it against me has been divided your power into 4, so it'd be easier to beat you.
Kakarot, using just speed, was able to take each of Tien off the platform. But even though one of them would try to do something, it was impossible for him, because on this occasion, Kakarot's power overcame him, eliminating him without difficulty.
This is child's play. They weren't even able to make me sweat.
An incredible combined attack of all the other warriors was able to hit Kakarot, who began to laugh, but their laughter changed to an expression of panic, realizing that among the flames, Kakarot was out injury.
What are they supposed to have tried? You're simple flies.
3 ships were able to land in the distance close to the martial arts tournament, from which 3 powerful warriors would come out, destroying the city in their path. The city they were in had been destroyed, but before the explosion was able to get to them, Kakarot made a barrier around the warriors and was able to save them.
Apparently you warriors are Saiyans, but I'm not interested because the destruction of the planet which I'm the ruler, I'll eradicate them. Ha ha ha! Kakarot, stop saying stupid stuff, because no matter how hard you try, you've been sent to this planet, since it's about your power is extremely low.
We've come all this way to recruit you so you're able to join us, as we're planning to end Frieza's life. That bastard's destroyed our planet. You better accept, because if you refuse, we'll end with you in this very place.
Ha! That's interesting. Do you think you have the required power to force me to come with you? Since I am on my own, I want to beat the damn Frieza.
Stop saying stupid things, so you better get ready. In a few hours, we'll leave the planet where Frieza is.
From what I understand, Raditz, you're my brother, but I'm not interested since you even come with the intention of ending my life. If that's the case, I'll end yours first.
Stop saying stupid shit. You're good for nothing, worm. You better obey your big brother if you don't want to end up beat up.
I'll tell you the same thing, you scumbag, if you have the power forced.
Raditz pushed against Kakarot, but Kakarot was able to dodge his blow and would make him retreat a few meters. However, before Raditz is able to pull himself together, he noticed how his brother's power increased.
Now fucking die, worm!
Kakarot's slide attack was able to execute a great technique from his fingertips, which went through Raditz completely, leaving him on the ground spitting blood.
Damn, how are you able to have this ability to beat me? And above all, how have you dared end the life of your own brother? You're a disgrace!
Hell, we haven't even faced Frieza yet, and we've already suffered a casualty. I'm not planning to collaborate with that useless Kakarot. I agree with you, Nappa. So he ends his life, and apparently that's what he wants the most. You can play with this.
Nappa, annoyed, would pounce on Goku, dodging his punches, while the tournament warriors were surprised to realize Kakarot's level of dexterity.
No matter what we've done, we don't possess the power required to stand up to that warrior. I haven't been able to fight with him yet, but since the fight with Piccolo, his power has increased incredibly.
Master, but when we finish fighting with these warriors who call themselves Saiyans, we have our chance to finish with them once and for all.
Yes, of course, Master, since you'll be weak after having fought with 3 warriors.
Everyone's impression was much more when Kakarot changed his expression to a serious one, and with a single blow he pierced Nappa, who vomited blood all over the battlefield, falling to the ground.
What are these garbage supposed to do? His power's nothing.
Kakarot would stretch out one of his hands, powerful enough to end Nappa's life. Not leaving any of his bones, the gaze of the Saiyans would completely cross.
If you're able to finish them, the only thing that means is that they were weak. Since it's the law of life, the strong survive and the weak die.
Is the first thing I agree with you. So at this moment I'll finish with you because compared to me, you're weak.
Kakarot on this occasion would take the initiative, but the Prince of the Saiyans dodged his blow and returning the same. But Kakarot was also able to dodge it, beginning to exchange hundreds of blows all over the place. Destroying everything in their path, the Prince of the Saiyans gave him a powerful blow, sending him to the center of the platform, destroying it.
I must admit that you possess an incredible power, but it's not surprising because my power goes beyond this.
Just as you had a lot more power, I do the same.
Vegeta, annoyed, would expel his power much more, being able to destroy everything. This time, the battlefield looked like a desert. Kakarot was surprised by the power Vegeta was able to use.
I'm surprised, but you won't be able to defeat me, as I've been the Saiyan who was born with the power of the elite warrior.
Kakarot would expel all his power, reaching 42,000 power units, way above Vegeta's power. Both began to exchange thousands of blows, but Vegeta would fall to the ground.
Damn it. How is it possible that I, the Prince of the Saiyan, ends up in this condition? I don't think that I have to use the status of an Ozaru on this planet.
Vegeta in one of his hands would make a large sphere of energy, throwing it to the sky, which would mix with the atmosphere. His body would change completely, making him an Ozaru as well as increasing his power. However, to a great surprise of Vegeta, who hadn't seen the tail of Kakarot, he would transform into an Ozaru. Vegeta would quickly try to stop it, but it was impossible for him to.
So only you were thinking of the transformation into an Ozaru, although it doesn't matter that I transformed, since I also had been able to defeat you anyway.
Stop saying stupid things, you damn Earthling. Compared to me,
the battle of Ozarus wouldn't last long because on this occasion, Kakarot's power was greater than Vegeta's, so it would end in humiliating him by Kakarot towards Vegeta.
It's time to end this battle, so you better leave because you'll be a worthy opponent in the future.
Vegeta lost his transformation, his tail cut off completely, while Kakarot had full control of his energy and was able to get to his base state without needing to cut his tail off, approaching Vegeta.
I want you to leave right now, but don't worry about Frieza because I'm planning to end his life myself.
Vegeta's ship had arrived to where he was, and he would leave the planet Earth. Kakarot would observe all the warriors.
What's going on? They don't want to fight anymore? I must admit your power surpasses us by hundreds of times. So please tell us, what is it you wish for? No one on this planet's able to stand up to you. I know that, so don't worry. I just wanted to become more powerful, but you really don't serve me for my ideals anymore.
Kakarot would leave, feeling strange energy at the top of the planet. That's right, at this temple of God of Earth, Kakarot arrived and was surprised to realize it was a subject similar to Piccolo.
I don't know who the hell you are, but I could tell you're not Piccolo since your energy's not evil at all.
And you must be the most powerful warrior on the planet Earth, the so-called Kakarot. Tell me, what brought you to my temple?
I want to make sure to know the training that's capable of making me more powerful, because I'm sure that very powerful subjects will come, and I only want to be able to protect this planet.
I don't agree with training you, but one thing I agree is that you'll be able to protect this planet. Even if you have evil in your heart, you are a warrior who takes care of what he conquered.
Ha! You're right about something. I'm not interested in those who are eradicated, but I won't allow anyone to be able to take over the planet which I conquered.
We'd rather have a ruler like you than someone being able to end our lives, so you can enter the room of that place, which will make time pass in a different way.
A different way? What do you mean?
In that room, you'll be able to train for a year in just one day. Although your body will physically feel only one day, this power you'll get will continue to keep.
I think I understand. What you mean is that an ordinary day passes here, 1 year passes in that place, right?
You're right. And that's why it's a great place for you to be able to get a new power in a short period of time.
Wow, that caught my attention. I want to train in that place.
Before I let you train, I want you to promise me that if you get the access, you will protect this planet.
I don't like being made rules, but I accept, since I won't let anyone rule my planet, much less the planet on which I'd grown up.
Kakarot entered the Room of Time, and he had started his rigorous training, being able to even destroy each of his bones because he had several seeds to heal all his wounds.
I have to get more power, since Frieza's power is amazing, and I'm not allowed to lose.
For his part, Vegeta arrived on the planet of Frieza. He would send a recovery capsule, starting to recover all his wounds. Returned to the Room of Time, Kakarot's body began to be a high-class warrior. His power was growing in an unreal way.
The power I'm getting is amazing. It'd be better if I had a training partner, but none of them would be able to do anything, so I better create a technique from that guy like Tien.
Kakarot started to meditate, creating a similar technique to Tien, which was able to multiply his power into several subjects. But that weak point of the technique was that in the same way his power was divided into 4, which was useless.
I have to be able to recreate a similar technique, but without that damn weakness.
Kakarot would meditate for a few months, but he was able to open his eyes, being able to bring out a new Kakarot from his body which possessed the same power as the original.
This is a success. The only thing I have to possess. I have great energy reserves because they're not able to finish my replica. I won't have any more energy, but my power's not divided. We both have the same power.
Both Kakarots began to battle, in which, in this occasion, both would, instead of decrease, began to increase in an incredible way. After a few months of training, they spent 2 years in that place, so Kakarot would unite his body completely, feeling much lighter with an incredible power.
Right now, I have to use 100% of all my power. I want to see how much I've been able to overcome my limits.
Kakarot would expel all his power, which would fill the entire room shake. However, he felt like an incredible power was flowing through his body, making it impossible for him to access it.
What is all this power I feel in my body? But I'm not able to release it, or do I need to trigger something else?
Kakarot would remember how his parents sent him on Earth, knowing that the tyrant Frieza wanted to destroy them, knowing his parents sacrificed for him, and his anger was able to get Kakarot to release this hidden power he had. Because at the moment, his incredible scream, his hair would turn golden while his power would increase incredibly.
Wow, what is this power? It surpasses the transformation of the Ozarus by dozens of times. I have to master this because I feel my energy decrease rapidly.
Kakarot began to train his new state to be able to face Frieza without any difficulty. Vegeta had completely recovered, leaving the recovery machine in search of revenge. Kakarot in the Room of Time has been able to access Super Saiyan, but even though his power multiplied by 10 times, it wasn't enough to face Frieza, and Kakarot knew this. Despite having the Saiyan impulse, he was able to control himself, knowing that if he went to his planet, he'd be exterminated.
Even though I was born with a power that even surpasses the elite warriors, it wouldn't be sensible for me to go at this time, since I don't have the required power because that damn man called himself the Emperor of Evil. He must be powerful.
Kakarot would continue training. His body was able to get into the state. Meanwhile, on the planet Frieza, Vegeta was able to recover. However, the humiliation he received wasn't able to overcome, so no matter what, he'd start in the same way with his rigorous training.
I'm the Prince of the Saiyans. I don't care if I have that bastard, even if he's considered high class, and was able to surpass the elite. I have to be much more powerful.
Vegeta's training was hell, since every time he finished his workout, he had to recover in the recovery machine, because the damage was so much that if he healed on his own, it would take weeks. Meanwhile, returning to the room of time, 7 Earth days had passed, to which the god of Earth had been surprised thinking Kakarot had died in that dimension.
Apparently, Kakarot's moved far away from the entrance, and trying to find it's impossible for him, although it will be the best for planet Earth.
Inside the time room, it had been about 7 years, which Kakarot was able to master Super Saiyan state, even being able to access the Phase 2, which was his power, was complete madness.
With the power I've been able to get, I'm sure I can defeat Frieza's bug, but I want to master my transformation at 100%.
Kakarot would meditate in his base state to understand his full energy in his body. Also being able to clarify his ideas, Kakarot spent in meditation pose about 6 months, so at the moment he'd stand up.
This moment, I have the maximum power, and I want to notice if there's any wear of energy.
Kakarot would cover himself with his fists. He'd begin to expel extremely amazing power, and the whole room trembled around him. But Kakarot, without stopping, would continue to increase his power, and some rays would spread all over his body. Kakarot had access to Super Saiyan 2 maximum power.
Despite having achieved all this power, I feel like my body's able to reach a new level.
Kakarot would stay for another 2.5 years in the time room, but this time he'd remained in Super Saiyan 2 state and some wear and tear of energy. But while training, he was able to notice a much bigger power grew inside him.
Apparently, really, I have more hidden power. I have to become more powerful.
Kakarot, in the short period of time he had left, would try to access one more transformation, but he wasn't able to. Although the power he was able to release in Super Saiyan 2 left him satisfied.
The power I've achieved is incredible. I'm sure with this power I'd be much more enough to end Frieza's life, but I'm sure I'll also be able to get more powerful. I want to be the Emperor of the Universe.
Kakarot would return to his base state, and he'd leave the Room of Time. Even though he decreased all his power, the instant he left, an incredible power would be perceived by all the warriors on planet Earth, while in the same way, the whole Earth would tremble as his power would be gigantic.
Wow, whose power is this? I doubt it's the power of that boy since it's only been 10 days, but the power he releases is so much it makes the Earth shake.
Exactly, Master. Oh, we don't know who's responsible for all this, but I'm sure none of us would be able to cope with it. Meanwhile, in a faraway place, there was a son of the Emperor planet Earth. That's right, Piccolo, Kakarot's new rival, began to train to seek revenge on his father's murderer.
I'm sure you're the warrior who ended my father's life, so you better get ready, because no matter what I'll do, I'll end your life.
Kame-sama was surprised because of this power Kakarot's body released, so the instant he observed it, he was surprised.
But how long have you been able to get out of 10 years? No warrior stayed in that place so long.
Ha! Don't compare me with those pathetic beings on this planet. Their resistance is completely nothing compared to mine.
I'm not talking about resistance, because to endure in that place for 10 years without having any contact is crazy. Not to any warrior, because if no one's able to achieve it, I'll be the first. But changing the subject, I want to get to a spaceship. What, a spaceship? That's something impossible for me since all my life I've lived on this planet.
You're right, but I've got a better idea. I know you have these strange spheres, which can grant wishes. With these, your evil part was able to take over the eternal youth.
You mean the Dragon Balls? I'm afraid to tell you they can't be used right now since they're currently being recently used and its time to wait is 1 year.
I'm not interested in you being the god of Earth. If you don't want to fulfill what I ask, I'll end your life in this very place. I'm not in accordance with that. I'll eliminate all humans. I'm his protector, but he has to fulfill my wishes.
I understand, Kakarot-sama. I ask for an apology. In that case, of course, there is a way to fulfill your wish, but it's only for this occasion.
Yeah, don't worry, I'm not planning on coming back for a while. Kami-sama would bring a statue of the dragon, and with a little energy, the whole sky would darken and bring out Shenron.
Tell me, what is your wish? I can only fulfill one wish.
I wish you to give me a spaceship to be able to go to Frieza's planet.
That wish is very easy.
Shenron would grant him that ship that Kakarot had requested, to which Shenron would disappear again.
I've been able to fulfill your wish. What else you want me to do right now? Nothing for now, I appreciate it. This time I'll leave to avenge my entire race.
Kakarot got in the ship and would head towards space. Meanwhile, on the planet of Vegeta, Frieza would continue with his great training, in which he'd been able to completely achieve incredible results. Since Vegeta would start to consider his high class, wasn't able to compare himself to Kakarot's level.
With the power I've been able to get, it's not enough to end Frieza's life, but I'm sure with this power I'd be able to defeat Kakarot.
On the other hand, Kakarot's ship was granted by a wish, was flying through space faster than the common ships, and because of this, Kakarot was able to reach the planet of Frieza in only 5 days, which that ship would be able to reach, but the gate was open, several warriors would surround the ship not belonging to their army.
You'd better leave this planet if you don't want to die.
But before being able to react, an energy laser was able to end that warrior's life, making him fall to the ground. An incredible aura would rise over the planet, not letting anyone move any of their bones.
I'm not interested in finishing with any of you, but if you want to bring Frieza to me, I'll finish with that dam.
The Emperor of Evil was not on the planet because he left with his elite warriors to Namek, in which they were going for some spheres which were capable of fulfilling wishes, and Frieza was looking for eternal life.
Damn it! No matter how much power he has, that bastard, if he becomes mortal, I won't be able to do anything against him. I have to stop him.
Kakarot would rise quickly to the planet's atmosphere with his ship, going to start the loading large attack in one of his hands.
So this must have felt Frieza before he destroyed my planet. Ha! I plan to destroy everything he loves and then end his pathetic existence.
Kakarot would throw an incredible attack towards the planet, and since there was no competent warrior, the planet of Frieza exploded into 1,000 pieces, leaving nothing which was left of the planet, while Kakarot with a great speed began to come to the planet Namek.
I'm sure these guys must be of the same race of Piccolo. Damn it, if he keeps up, that's gonna be getting eternal life.
After 8 hours, he would get to planet Namek, and instantly he noticed 100 of inhabitants had been eradicated by Frieza's soldiers.
I don't care if I'm done with these bastards, but I want them to be afraid of me. That good-for-nothing worm.
For his part, the Emperor of Evil was holding a small child from that planet, since having gathered all the spheres, he wasn't able to fulfill his wish.
Damn kid, you better help fulfill my wish, because if you don't, I'll end you and this whole planet myself.
Kakarot would be able to feel the energy of Frieza, starting to approach at a great speed, but on his way, he would run into special forces, which were the most powerful warriors. Kakarot would do nothing to end their lives, so he arrived and was able to hold the little boy, throwing him hundreds of meters.
I won't let you get your wish, you good-for-nothing worm.
Vegeta, surprised since he was holding at the right moment to snatch the desire from Frieza because he didn't have the required power to face him.
But if he's Kakarot, how's he able to get to planet Namek? Is he stupid? How do you plan on getting to face Frieza face to face?
You better go get the kid, because otherwise I'll make you suffer in the worst way possible. I don't care who you are. I want you to try something since I come from only for a pathetic to end your pathetic existence, you Emperor of Evil.
An irritated Frieza would rush against Kakarot, and he would stop his blow with only one of his fingers, which Frieza was surprised, but Kakarot would connect a big blow to his stomach, making him vomit large amounts of blood.
Are you really the Emperor of Evil? I trained all my life for nothing become your power is pathetic. Yeah, damn. That hurt me, but right now I'll use all my power since I have several transformations.
Wow, if you only have several transformations, it'd be better to access the most powerful one, because if the next hit you don't transform, I'll finish you. Frieza would access his last form, and this power he released making the whole planet of Namek tremble. Vegeta would be surprised by that power, but Kakarot was nothing more than a simple breeze, because his power was greater, and after a great explosion, Frieza could be observed in his last form.
Now that I see you well, you're the identical to the Saiyan who opposed the destruction of planet Vegeta. Are you his son? Worm, you dare tell me? Of course he's my father, and I'm your worst nightmare. I'm the little Saiyan who was born with more than 10,000 units of power.
Frieza's look would change a little, but he would laugh again.
It doesn't matter if it exceeds that units of power, because in this form my power exceeds 10 million units, so a Saiyan won't be able to face me. I don't know how much power I currently possess, but I'll face you in my base state.
Frieza and Kakarot fought against each other with several blows, but in the first clash of their fists, Kakarot would realize how much power was superior to Frieza's power, because Frieza's face, the effort was observed, while Kakarot's part, he was just chill. Kakarot, with a slight blow, was able to descend into the bottom of the sea, destroying everything, since the power of his fist had been on another level.
I can't believe the Kakarot has been able to overcome Frieza. This is a nightmare.
The power is enough for me to finish you, but I want to show you your nightmare.
Kakarot would instantly clench his fists, being able to make everything around him rumble. All the incredible power of Kakarot was released, leaving Frieza and Vegeta surprised. The planet was shaking, and from incredible scream of Kakarot, the hair changed to gold color, while everything was destroyed by this power, which Kakarot released. Frieza would begin to tremble as this legendary Saiyan was in front of his eyes.
No, this can't be happening. You are the legendary Super Saiyan. I ended your life along with that planet Vegeta. It's a pity that my fathers realized your betrayal by sending me to another planet before you finished with the planet Vegeta. No, that damn monkey. It's his damn fault I'm in this trouble. I'm not interested in any of that now. I want to humiliate you in the worst possible way, and later end your damn life. Even if you're the legendary Super Saiyan, I have no plans to let you end my life so easily. I am the Emperor of Evil.
Frieza, in spite, would throw himself against Kakarot, but despite this, his fists weren't able to cause any damage, since his skin was like metal. While Frieza's fists suffered damage while trying to hit him, Kakarot would stare at him.
It's time for me to attack you, so hope you're ready.
Frieza, despite putting on guard, he wasn't able to withstand a single blow to the stomach, because Frieza had fallen to the ground writhing in pain, and bloody saliva was coming out of his mouth. Vegeta noticed this, surprised.
What should I do? I don't really know what to do, since if Kakarot's able to humiliate Frieza like that, I won't be able to do anything against him.
Kakarot would take Frieza by the neck, holding him tightly, and Frieza would take several blows, not able to get Kakarot to let go.
I can't believe you call yourself the Emperor of Evil with that pathetic power.
Kakarot released him, but before he fell to the ground, with a powerful blow, he sent him flying, destroying several mountains in the path, and a very powerful warrior being exiled from the Divine World was watching this battle, since he wanted a new body to be his vessel.
The body of that Saiyan's incredible, but if at that young age he already possesses all that power, he's able to take control of the body from me. Although he could be the surprise of an apprentice, so that the Super Dragon Balls, he gets me a body.
The guy named Cronus would observe Vegeta, realizing that he didn't have the incredible power of Kakarot's. The power that was sleeping inside was crazy.
That guy will either be my recipient or my apprentice.
Kakarot felt the power of Vegeta heading towards him with a great speed that he wasn't able to react to.
Vegeta, what are you supposed to be doing, hiding like a rat? Didn't you call yourself the Prince of the Saiyans? To me, you're just nothing but the Prince of Cowards.
Furious, Vegeta would try to eat his pride, but his anger was so great he'd throw a big punch at him, making him able to hit him all over the face, but wasn't able to move him even a millimeter.
That's pathetic. Is that all your power?
Kakarot would channel a great power in his fist, and before he'd hit him, a scythe was able to send him flying with great damage, while Portal teleported Vegeta to a secret place, and Kakarot's been sent to a few mountains, destroying everything in the path.
What the hell? Who attacked me?
Kakarot would fly quickly to where Vegeta was, but completely disappeared. Kakarot would vomit blood all over his body.
Damn, the damage he was able to cause me is incredible. I haven't seen anything like this, but my body's shattered.
Frieza would be able to access 100% of his power and would lash out with all his fury against Kakarot, receiving a tremendous impact. This power decreased considerably, making it hard for him to keep up with Vegeta at 100%. So Kakarot, in a slight oversight, was able to access a little of his Super Saiyan 2, which would, after a few exchanges of blows, would be able to leave Frieza on the ground. Kakarot would still, though, fall to the ground.
Damn, I didn't think this guy other than Frieza is able to generate tremendous damage to me. My body hurts. That happens to you for fighting a legendary evil emperor. I warned you that even though you're the legendary Super Saiyan, you won't be able to defeat me.
Frieza once more rushed Kakarot, but Kakarot, using all his power on his leg, was able to connect a huge kick, separating the head from the body, and able to defeat the evil Emperor. Kakarot instantly returned to his base state.
Damn, my body hurts too much. I gotta get back to the ship, quick!
Kakarot with a few energies to return to the ship, but placing in the destination, Kakarot was knocked out of combat, and the ship would take him to a different planet. For his part, Vegeta arrived where Kronos was.
What is this place? Where am I located?
Since you'll be my disciple, I want you to become more powerful. You'll be under my teaching, since I'll be able to become a powerful warrior.
I'm not interested in any guy training me, since I'm very powerful on my own, so don't worry.
If you want to leave, you can, but let me remind you, you're almost eradicated by that Saiyan. If it hadn't been for me, you'd died. Vegeta would remember this and standing still completely.
I'm sorry. I really want you to train me. I want to become much more powerful so that Kakarot bug will regret everything he did to me.
In that case, you have to obey everything I tell you, because the training that I intend to give you is the training beyond the gods.
Beyond the gods? I don't understand.
That's right. I know mortals like you, this is a lot, but I was the most powerful god of the 18 universes. But because Zeno-sama cursed me, I eliminated all the 6 most powerful universes and was banished from my divine powers.
That means that in this universe there's also a god.
Right. But for your fortune, none of that'll happen now, because despite not having the divine energy, I'm still capable of defeating any god of these universes.
You're able to do that if you don't have any divine energy.
You ask a lot of questions, but I'll answer. Despite having lost my energy, the only gods able to defeat me would be the 5 gods also eliminated, since we're the most powerful ones.
You're implying to me that the 6 eliminated universes were the most powerful among the 18, but even those 6 universes, you were the most powerful.
Right, but since I currently don't possess any divine energy, they'd be the only ones defeating me, and of course, admitting the existence of the Great Priest.
Really, if I want to be your disciple, with you I'll be able to achieve an incredible power.
In that case, I hope you're ready, because the training I'll give you will be worse than death. Meanwhile, with Kakarot, his ship crashed on a strange planet. Since not being able to place the correct coordinates, it clashed on a nearby planet, but when he was out of combat, the inhabitants were able to heal each of his wounds. And after 5 days, Kakarot woke up, putting himself in a combat pose, but would realize how the warriors helped him instead of fending him off.
I guess I have to thank you, because if it wasn't for you, I'd lost my life. But who the hell was that guy?
Kakarot would start training with these inhabitants. Despite not possessing any great physical power, their abilities were incredible, even giving Kakarot problems, since their abilities eliminated his presence completely, being useless to try to feel the energy of his opponent.
Wow, despite being weak, their abilities were amazing. But among these abilities, I'm interested in the ones you call teleportation.
The inhabitants were able to teach him that, and Kakarot, being a prodigy, was able to master it in 3 weeks training, so he would try his new technique.
I really appreciate that very much, since when you need something, don't hesitate to ask. Just think of me and I'll be able to listen to you.
Kakarot would leave the planet of Yadrat, starting to head towards Earth. With the help of teleportation, he was able to approach multiple planets until he could feel the energy of the Earth warriors. However, he would notice how their energies of hundreds of people were disappearing.
What the hell's going on? Is there anyone to rule the planet of which I'm the king?
Kakarot's able to reach Earth, realizing how everyone had been destroyed, so he'd try to find the person responsible. But he would see a guy in flames, which had Master Roshi by the neck.
If you don't tell me where the Kakarot bug is, I swear I'll end your life.
For the king, he's too pathetic. He's been able to abandon his people.
I'm here. I don't know who you are, but I'm not planning to forgive you for destroying my planet, you fucking worm.
Well, apparently you have a lot of esteem for this damn old man. It's a pity, because after all, I'll end his life anyway. Piccolo trying to end Master Roshi, Kakarot was able to make him retreat a few meters while being able to hold Master Roshi.
I'm the only governor of this planet, so you better get well, old man. I'll take care of the rest. You're very powerful, Kakarot, but I think even you won't be able to do anything against that demon. His power's on another level. Don't say stupid things, old man. You don't know my true power.
Kakarot would approach Piccolo and would, in the same way, face him, and they'd stare at each other. So, you're the warrior of ending my father's life. You don't seem so powerful.
Ha! You talk trash with that mouth since you only know what you're saying. I'm able to finish you in the blink of an eye.
Both would exchange blows, but Kakarot, despite using all his power, in his base state was not able to connect a blow, which would make him question the true power of Piccolo.
And the power he possesses is more powerful than Frieza's, since his power goes beyond.
You better not lose focus. I'm not gonna miss an opportunity to end your pathetic life.
Piccolo was able to connect a powerful blow in his stomach, causing him pain and sending him to the ground. Before he recovered, Piccolo would throw a great attack from his mouth, which he was able to reach Kakarot, but between the smoke screen, power would be perceived. Kakarot had access to the Super Saiyan.
This warm-up's over. I must confess, you're powerful, but I want to see what you could do against the Super Saiyan.
By just changing your hair color, you won't be able to do anything. You're a simple human who can't do anything against me.
The battle would resume, but Kakarot would use Super Saiyan, not being able to generate great damage to Piccolo. He would release more power, which Kakarot was confused, but would have him a few meters away, and would have thrown a great attack, sending him flying thousands of meters, generating an incredible explosion around him.
What the hell's going on? He's more powerful than Frieza, and he used to call himself the Emperor of Evil.
But to Kakarot's surprise, a much greater power was being able to be released from his body, and a pressure that was making him fall to the ground without being able to move any of his limbs.
What is this pressure? How's he able to get all this power? He's crazy!
Why, you're not on planet Earth. I've been more powerful, so I want you to admire my true power.
Kakarot, with great difficulty, was able to stand up, accessing Super Saiyan 2 Max with his ability to repel that great pressure.
No matter how much power you possess, I've been able to overcome my power.
Piccolo at that moment was able to access a new state, making him more powerful. Even though Kakarot was able not to feel his power, his energy was more dense, and he had access to a new state called Orange Piccolo.
I hope you're ready for the day of your death, you miserable scumbag.
The power of Orange Piccolo was one that exceeded the level of a mortal. So incredible on this occasion it was felt by the Angel Universe 7, surprising a little mortal that had broken the barrier of the divine energy.
This is bad.
Since the divine rule of the gods have no mortal should approach the power of a god, he could break the balance of everything. Whis would start walking over to Beerus, for which he would wake up and activate dozens of alarms in the castle. Beerus would wake up with fury.
What the hell's wrong with you? Why don't you set off the alarms?
Mr. Beerus, a mortal in the universe, has approached the power of a god of destruction, and you better know that the universe breaks this divine rule of the mighty Zeno-sama, the warrior next to the universe will be completely destroyed.
Why'd you say that? This is serious. It has a god of 72 hours since the warrior of such caliber appeared. How long ago did that guy appear?
He was done with the divine energy about 2 hours ago. We have plenty of time, but I wanted to inform you as soon as possible.
Oh, you have done the right thing, Whis. Right now, we'll go to this planet where that guy is, and he's able to hold this power of a god.
On planet Earth, Piccolo was able to give a beating to Goku. Despite him trying to defend himself, Piccolo's fists and power were on another level, and he used techniques learned on different planets. He wasn't able to do anything against his enemy.
Oh no! If Kakarot's defeated, no matter what we do, we can't survive! That guy is evil in every sense of the word!
Piccolo with a great attack sent him flying, and it exploded. He was able to generate explosion all over the place, leaving Goku badly injured, spitting out blood on the floor of the battlefield.
Damn, I thought that son of a wretch was so powerful, I'll have to use all my power. I remember the inhabitants of the planet granted me the divine knowledge or something similar, since it was the sacred water.
What's happened to you? You've given up? Let me tell you, you're a scumbag. I thought much more complicated of a challenge.
You've become powerful. I'll have to achieve it so I can at this moment end your existence once and for all.
Ha! Doesn't matter what power you have, this power granted to me is by the dragon of the balls himself. I doubt you can overcome me.
Ha! You better get ready. This moment you can witness my new transformation. I have 2 more and I doubt the Super Saiyan 3 can cope with you, so I'll use the divine energy.
Huh. Listen well, divine energy. That blows you've been able to give me makes you say stupid things. There's no divine energy.
Goku would return to his base state, concentrating, and everything around him darkened. This pressure was able to present on the battlefield, and a flash of pink energy would go from the planet. While amazing pressure would fall on Piccolo's body, he'd spit out some blood trying to stand.
What the hell? Does the divine energy really exist?
This is the Super Saiyan God. I like to call it Super Saiyan Rose.
The name of that transformation was because his hair was pink. Goku, without saying any more, would hit an incredible blow to his stomach, making him fall completely. Not letting him move, Piccolo, with a single blow, was receiving incredible damage crawling.
Well, I thought I'd try to restrain myself so you couldn't stand to one of my blows. It's a shame. You're more of a bug after all. Wow, I can't believe it. Goku was able to give a 180-degree turn in the battle. In one fell swoop, he could leave the Emperor of the planet of Earth on the floor.
On the planet of Beerus, both deities came to Earth. They noticed the new individual with the energy of a god was appearing in the Universe 7 and would irate Beerus.
I don't know who the hell's going to that damn place, but I'll wipe out all the warriors with this energy. I want them eliminate my universe.
In that case, Mr. Beerus, we better hurry. Daiseiken-sama or Zeno-sama are able to perceive the energy of these warriors and will end the universe. Both deities at a great speed went to Universe 7. Returning to the battlefield, everything was completely changed. Piccolo was lying on the ground, not able to do anything. Kakarot was able to take him like a punching bag. Piccolo wasn't even able to put up his hands since Kakarot's movements were fast and contained an unreal power, which destroyed everything. Kakarot would immediately hold him by the neck, crushing it against the surface of the planet.
Don't forget that it's just another worm that's alive that I can wanted to, because if I wanted to end your life, I would have done it. Although I must confess, if from the beginning you fought with all your power, I wouldn't have had the opportunity to get up to 100%. Die for your arrogance.
Kakarot would stretch out his hands, trying to pulverize Piccolo. However, he would move quickly to prostrate himself behind Kakarot, holding him with his physical strength, trying to destroy all his bones.
Gotta confess, you have been able to exceed my expectations. Now, I'll plan to end your life, even if that means I gotta die.
If you want to finish me using physical force, that'll be impossible for you. No matter what you do, you're still a scumbag.
I'll check that. I'll see you in hell, Kakarot.
Piccolo would use the rest of his energy to generate an incredible explosion which would devastate half the planet, finishing all the beings that were surviving, and the explosion would last a few minutes, in which at the end Kakarot could be seen with a few scratches but nothing serious.
Wow, I'm surprised he could give himself to sacrifice himself, but with that low power he wasn't able to end me.
Returning to the dimension of Kronos, he would give his great training to Vegeta. In that dimension, hundreds of years passed, and Vegeta was able to get an incredible power.
This is the max power. So this state of a god of destruction, at this moment I plan to release my power so they could see how strong I became thanks to my training. Ha ha ha! Don't worry, Vegeta. Show me. I want to witness the amazing power you got.
Vegeta would expel his incredible power, showing his hair color purple, where this time everything would crack around him. Though these cracks, Beerus and Whis were able to notice the energy of this third subject, able to make himself the god of destruction.
What the hell's going on over the universe? I have the warriors who've been able to access the divine energy decide to leave today?
No, Mr. Beerus, we have to go to that dimension first, since the essence that was seen in this place was similar to the energy of the ancient gods.
Ha! In that case, come on. I don't know what the hell it is, but I want to be called part of the old gods. It'll never caught my attention.
Whis was able to crack the dimension. Turning that dimension, Vegeta was able to release all his power. The instant he did, Kronos was able to connect an extremely powerful blow on his neck, leaving him out of combat.
I'm sorry, Vegeta. I have to keep your body. I have allies soon, but your body will be useful to me.
Kronos, with one small technique, was able to appropriate Vegeta's body. On this occasion, a small part of Vegeta's consciousness still existed. For that reason, Vegeta wasn't dying and managed to neither go to paradise or hell.
Ha! My body is amazing. I can master this whole body and start to end the whole kingdom of Zeno-sama.
The entire dimension was destroyed, observing Beerus incredibly releasing his power over the place.
I don't know who the hell you are, but right now I'm ending your damn existence. Since you're just a worm, I possess divine energy. I'll eradicate you, but there'll be orders from the great Zeno-sama. If you're Beerus, this damn anorexic cat, long time no see. And you don't recognize me, I have the appearance I'm an ancient god of the Universe 17, Kronos.
Angry, Beerus would exalt his remembering how Kronos humiliated him in the past, and he possessed his original body, considered the god of the underworld Anubis.
Well, bad luck you have. In this dimension, it would be your death.
That way you'll be a warm-up to be able to get used to my body. Vegeta used the Ultra Ego and lashed out at him. Beerus was able to stop his punch with one hand, breaking his arm, causing blood to fall to the ground. At first you could humiliate me, but time passes, my powers increased amazingly. I was even called a candidate for the ancient god.
What are you saying? You must be a mistake. You good-for-nothing cat, you couldn't summon anything of the old gods.
Don't have time to play with you. I'll show you a little of my power I've been able to get in this short period of time. I hope you're ready. Beerus would expel an incredible power. Kronos surprised with all the power he released compared to the ancient god Pondoros. So Kronos, with an incredible terror, would try to flee. Beerus would begin to grant him a beating, not letting him do anything against him. Beerus would hold him by the neck completely.
You're one of the most powerful ancient gods. Right now you're just an insect, so you better die, you good-for-nothing.
Beerus would use his destructive energy, leaving neither Vegeta's nor Kronos' ashes.
Whis, let's quickly go to the Earth so end this hindrance. I don't want subjects with divine energy to become more powerful.
As you order, we'll get there in 10 minutes. On Earth, Kakarot was meditating, managing to master the energy wear of his Saiyan God state. Wow, this powerful and this transformation's amazing. I could become more powerful, and I'm sure more powerful beings exist somewhere. At that moment, a great light would fall on him and would put him in a battle pose.
You're the mortal who can make the takeover of the divine energy. I apologize, but at this moment I'll end you.
I don't know who the hell you are, and I don't plan on letting you end my life so easily. I have a goal to become the Emperor of Evil.
Ha! A guy similar to Frieza who called himself this Emperor of Evil. After all, he was a good-for-nothing worm.
So you're one of Frieza's subordinates. In that case, you better leave. I was able to end Frieza's life, and I won't hesitate to end you.
So you ended Frieza's life? Huh. You better use all your power, in case you don't want to die in one blow.
Kakarot, realizing the subject in front of him, had a strange power begin to access Super Saiyan God. With a few words, he rushed Beerus. Although Kakarot used his power, he wasn't able to connect to any of his blows, which would make him angry, and Kakarot would say, "What the hell? I'm using all my energy and I'm not able to do anything. Would he be able to end me? No, I can't allow it. I'm destined to rule this universe. I'm Kakarot." Kakarot would use more power to lash out against him. No matter how great his efforts, he wasn't able to do anything against Beerus, and Beerus would stop one of his fists.
It's time, Saiyan. I'm gonna end you.
Beerus, with a slight blow, made him fall to the ground, losing consciousness. At that moment, he would take him by the neck and would say,
"Before creation comes destruction. Disappear."
Beerus, with great energy of destruction, destroyed Kakarot, while instantly likewise destroyed Earth.
Mission accomplished, Whis. We better go back to our planet.
As you order, Mr. Beerus. Both deities returned to their planet, where Beerus would once again lie down to sleep, and ending the threat, Kakarot the Saiyan had been born with a power that surpassed the elite class of Saiyan warriors.
"70 million years ago, there was an unimaginable void without any life, when suddenly emerged a being which didn't know it was himself where he was. What's going on? What am I? I can't see anything. What is this immense void?" What he didn't know was, until that moment, was that he was an omnipotent being who was going to create everything known as the universe. He would even create a whole multiverse full of different types of life in order to find at some point an individual who could match or surpass the strength of his son called Zeno-sama. In Zeno-sama's palace, 30 million years after the birth of Zeno-sama's father, he introduces himself to his son. "Zeno-sama, my son, you've grown strong and apparently you've become very powerful over the centuries."
Father, I've always felt that my existence has no purpose. I often get bored. Why did you bring me to life to be bored?
70 million years ago, there was a void from which I was created. As I grew, I developed powers and immeasurable strength. As a result of that, a need was born in me to find a being who could match or surpass your strength, to even equal my own greatness. That's why I created planets, galaxies, universes, and living beings of various species.
All this was created just so that I could exist?
Yes, my son. Every star, every life form, everything has a purpose. to prepare you to be the supreme god of all that I've created. You're the main reason for all my creation.
It's a heavy burden, Father. Why me?
Because in you, I see the true potential to rule in this vast cosmos. You are the hope to maintain harmony among the creations that have sprung from my being. You are the missing piece in this cosmic chest.
Father, all this that you tell me is an enormous responsibility. I don't know if I'm ready to be able to do it. What if I fail?
There is no failure, son. Your very existence is success. Every moment in your life has molded you into the supreme being that you are. I trust you will fulfill your destiny.
What about you, Father? What role do you play in all this?
My role is to guide you from the shadows, to watch you fulfill your purpose. Finding balance in the universe is a task that requires your leadership. I'll be here in the darkness, watching you carry out the mission I have given you.
I understand, Father. Leave everything in my hands.
Thus passed centuries, millennia, in which Zeno-sama was guided by his father to govern the immense multiverse he had created for him, but now convinced of the purpose he had in his life. In the present time, 30 million years after the conversation that Zeno-sama and his father had, in one of the universes created by Father Zeno, on a planet called Earth, Kakarot and Vegeta were training together with Whis and Beerus after having faced very powerful beings. While they were training, the Earth was illuminated by flashes of energy. As Kakarot and Vegeta embark on intense training, Whis and Beerus watch from a distance, assessing the Saiyans' every move as they prepare to rise in their skills.
Hey, Vegeta! Remember when we first faced Frieza? That guy was incredibly strong.
Yes, Kakarot. It was our first encounter with an enemy of another level, but we cannot forget the Cell Bug, that creature with cells from all of us. He put us in big trouble with his martial arts tournament. Luckily, your son became strong.
Both Saiyans exchanged energy blasts. Each hit and dodge was an echo of their long history of battles.
Ah, yes! The first time you showed the teleportation technique. That was amazing! Thanks to Gohan, we were able to defeat him.
But then came Majin Buu. That battle was unforgettable. We had to merge to have a chance.
The fusion was great, but we also learned about redemption and kindness at that time. Buu became good because of you.
As they continue their training, the energy of both Saiyans light up the space. Whis and Beerus watch with interest.
Yes, but don't forget about Beerus, that god of destruction who almost wiped out the Earth with a single sneeze. Although in the end, he turned out to be more of a joker than we thought.
Yes, I remember when I tried to fight him in my Super Saiyan 3 form. I wasn't at his level, but at least I gave him a fight in my Super Saiyan God form, and that was possible thanks to all of you.
That's right, and now we're here, training with Whis and Beerus. We cannot let our guard down, Kakarot. There'll always be bigger challenges.
Exactly! Every fight makes us stronger. Let's keep training and bettering ourselves.
Of course. We're always one step closer to being the strongest warriors in the universe.
The training continues as Kakarot and Vegeta, under the tutelage of Whis and Beerus, strive to reach new levels of power in order to defend the Earth from new and more powerful enemies that may appear with the desire to destroy the planet that welcomed them. While Kakarot and Vegeta were training to overcome their limits, Whis and Beerus encouraged them to keep improving. Very good, Saiyans. Keep it up.
Yes, they're very strong, but I don't know if that'll be enough to keep my interest.
Suddenly, they feel a dark presence and the whole environment begins to become dark, and a dark, powerful presence fills the place.
What's going on, Mr. Whis?
Something's not right. I feel an extremely powerful and dark presence.
That feeling sounds familiar. Who could it be?
The darkness intensifies, and suddenly an opposing figure appears in front of them like a shadowy nebula.
Inhabitants of the multiverse, have you missed me? Hello, dear inhabitants of the multiverse. I've come to observe progress of my creations.
What? Who is this guy?
I don't know, Kakarot, but his presence is overwhelming.
No way.
What?
The figure lingers in a shadowy haze, with the speaker being the father of Zeno-sama, the omnipotent being who created the multiverse. This one appears in all multiverse, where all the warriors were training for future problems.
This guy is the father of Zeno-sama, the creator of everything we know of universes beyond our imagination.
I didn't think we'd ever see him.
Sir, your arrival is unexpected. Forgive the insolence, but to what do we owe you presents?
The inclination of Whis and all the angels of different universes is because they have knowledge of who was the father of Zeno-sama. For that reason, they have a great fear and respect for him.
I see you've been busy, warriors. You have faced great obstacles throughout your insignificant lives, but this time has come. Are you strong enough?
We're always up for a good challenge.
Shut up, Kakarot. Don't you feel how powerful he is? How can you say that? Haven't you noticed something missing in the multiverse?
At that moment, Zeno-sama's father set out to tell them the reason for the ambiguous question. Moments before Zeno's father appeared before the whole multiverse, he was very angry because when he woke up from the dream of millions of years, he was surprised that many things had happened that went against the main reason why he created the whole universe. Because of this, he appears before his son Zeno-sama. In the center of the realm of everything, the overwhelming presence of Zeno-sama's father eclipses space. His voice booms like thunder as he directs his fury towards his son Zeno-sama. The latter, visibly nervous, tries to defend himself as the tension between the two intensifies.
Zeno-sama, you failed in your duty as supreme god. All the warriors of the multiverse have overstepped their bounds and now dare to call themselves gods. Gods? This is unacceptable!
Father, I understand that this is all being misunderstood, but...
There's no excuses, Zeno-sama. Your lack of authority has allowed inferior beings to rise above us. How dare you let them usurp the title of gods?
I'm sorry, Father. I did not intend for things to come to this point.
The anger in Father Zeno's voice increases. His tone becomes more defiant and contemptuous.
Your intention? Your weakness has sullied the name of our divinity. The only god here is me, and no one else should dare to call himself that. No one!
Father, I understand that I'm in your debt, but we can find another way to restore order.
Father Zeno's response is an explosion of contempt and fury.
You do not deserve the title of god at all. Your weakness has tainted my creation. Because of your incompetence, I must restore the balance, even if it means getting rid of you.
What? Father, please don't do it! There's so much I can still learn and improve! I can fix all of this!
Zeno-sama's imploration is lost in Father Zeno's cold determination.
It is already too late, Zeno. Weakness must be eradicated from existence for true power to prevail.
In an instant, Zeno-sama's father unleashes a blast of devastating energy that engulfs Zeno-sama and begins to tear him to shreds as he screams in pain.
No, Father, please! Ah!
Order has been restored. No one else will dare to challenge my supremacy. I will now take it upon myself to re-establish balance through my creation.
In the present day, in front of the terrified warriors, due to what Zeno-sama's father had informed them what had happened to his son Zeno-sama, a being they all adored and feared.
You insignificant beings now understand. Because of this, I will destroy all the timelines and universes that exist. I am a divine being, omnipotent, and I can do it. But I will give you a chance to fight for your lives. So I'll organize a tournament in which the strongest warriors of the entire multiverse will participate so that the power will prevail.
Earth 2024.
What?
This can't be true.
Do you think we can face something like that, Mr. Piccolo?
Oh? We'll have to train a lot physically and, above all, mentally.
The idea of a tournament piques his interest, seeing the opportunity to test his own power and perhaps become even stronger. Thraxis Nocturne. Planet sunk in the shadows.
A tournament, eh? Well, I'll show that true power is not limited to divine beings.
I won't let them destroy our future. I will fight in that tournament and protect my own.
A tournament with the strongest warriors, huh? It'll be my chance to show that the Saiyans are not insignificant beings. We will see who is truly divine in this tournament. My empire will prevail.
A competition between the strongest. Interesting. I was showed that the Metacoolers are superior in all universes.
Nigerian, a world with perpetually cloudy skies where storms of dark energy lash the surface.
Father, This tournament will be the perfect occasion to show you that my power surpasses yours. Perfect. I'll show my true power and wreak havoc in every corner of the multiverse. Destruction in a tournament. What a magnificent combination. I will be the ultimate warrior and subdue all under my rule. Let's fight. This tournament will be my stage to demonstrate the power I've obtained.
Dracoria, homeworld of the humanoid dragon warriors and the descendants.
The threat of destruction is overwhelming. My fire may not be enough to face its dark omnipotence.
A shadow that threatens to destroy everything. My ability to manipulate the darkness may not be enough. Even with my swordsmanship, facing an omnipotent divine being will be an unparalleled challenge. This divine being has the power to destroy everything I love. My fire will be my defense.
A divine threat. My control over thunderstorms will be enough. This will be a challenge like never before.
After seeing the various emotions and thoughts of the main participants of the tournament, Zeno-sama's father begins to explain the rules of this supposed tournament.
Minimal beings. The rules are simple. The tournament will be to the death. It will be held in a timeless space where the laws of time and physics are temporarily suspended. The only way to eliminate an opponent is to make his heart stop. It is by killing him. There's no other way. In this tournament, it is either you or your rival. There's no limits on the use of skills. You must unleash your full potential without restriction, so as not to be destroyed in the process. I'll be the one who will watch over the whole process. The participant who wins will have the joy of facing me, putting his life and the life of his universe at stake. But I'm a PS deity, and I will bring him the opportunity to have a divine power similar to mine for a determined time. If he does not take the advantage of it, he will have to accept the consequences.
In spite of the uncertainty that the warriors have in front of what the father of Zeno-sama has said, some are excited and others are worried.
Wow, this sounds exciting! A tournament with fighters from all universes. It's gonna be great!
Why should we trust this tournament to be fair? By killing them?
So I can fight to the best of my ability. But killing beings that are just fighting for their lives is not nice.
I hope everything I've said has been clear to everyone. The only rule is that you have to kill your opponent so that they don't kill you. I want to make that clear. You will have to kill your opponent. The way we will check if you're worthy of calling yourselves gods.
Father Zeno disappears and everything returns to normal. You can see Kakarot's excited about the new enemy that is seen. It is very powerful. Vegeta, scared and worried about his family, angry with Kakarot.
Wow, that guy's incredibly strong. I'm excited to fight him in the next tournament.
Excited? Do you realize what's at stake, Kakarot? The enemy is dangerous, and we can't just underestimate him.
But Vegeta, that guy has awesome power. It's gonna be the best fight of our lives.
This is not a game, Kakarot. Do you realize that we're putting our families and the entire universe at risk?
I know it's serious, Vegeta, but it's also a chance to get better. Besides, Zeno-sama's father is excited about this.
I can't believe you're so carefree. My family's in danger and you're excited about a fight.
I'm not saying I'm not serious, Vegeta, but when an opportunity presents itself to measure our power, I can't resist.
You always think about the fight, don't you? Sometimes I wish you had a little more responsibility.
Vegeta, I understand that you're worried about Bulma and Trunks, but trust that we can protect them.
I don't like the idea of someone else deciding about our lives.
I understand, Vegeta, but do you really think we can ignore this opportunity?
I'm not going to lose my family over a fight, but I also know that I can't stop you from getting excited about the battle.
At that moment, the tension between Kakarot and Vegeta is palpable as they prepare to face the new enemy. While Kakarot is filled with excitement for the fight, Vegeta faces the situation with a mixture of fear and determination. Thus, the training of the entire multiverse for the survival of their species began. From the moment on, the most powerful warriors of all the universes began to train with greater intensity in order to save their universes and timelines. After having communicated with the entire multiverse from the realm of everything, the father of Zeno-sama would observe everything from a crystal screen, that the warriors were getting stronger and stronger. He sent his shadow warriors to slow down the process of them.
But what is this feeling that stirs my supreme being? A mixture of fascination and disdain. It's inevitable that mortals yearn for more, that they aspire to surpass their boundaries. Yet some of these warriors are reaching levels I cannot allow. Their power threatens the balance I've established. It's enough that they're mere participants in my tournament. They must be contained. They must be eliminated before their ascensions endanger the stability of my creation. My shadow warriors, creatures of the shadow and executioners of my will travel throughout all the universes. They'll be my instruments to stop these reckless advances. I will not allow the power of these warriors to grow beyond the limits set by my divinity.
Father Zeno, we're here to receive your orders.
Shadow creatures, my loyal enforcers, the time has come. The universes pulsate with an energy that threatens to destabilize the order I've established. Mortal warriors, in their relentless pursuit of power, are rising to dangerous heights. Their progress must be halted.
Your orders are our will. How do you wish us to proceed?
Each of you will disperse among the universes. Your mission is to find those warriors who dare to exceed the limits imposed. There's no room for compassion. The threat must be eradicated. Annihilate them without mercy.
We will, Father Zeno. No warrior will be strong enough to defy your will.
The shadow creatures set off to every universe and timeline to destroy every warrior who would participate. Along the way, they encountered weak warriors who they destroyed with these strong and very powerful ones. It was dusk when suddenly the Earth's atmosphere trembled with an unnatural darkness. In the blink of an eye, shadow creatures emerged from the interdimensional shadows, ethereal and menacing beings that would challenge even the strength of the mightiest warriors. Kakarot and Vegeta, training on the vast battlefield of Earth, sense the arrival of an ominous presence. Shadow creatures, their ethereal forms and eyes burning with the intensity of darkness, materialized before them.
What are you? We are servants of Father Zeno. Your progress has been noted and must be halted. The will of Father Zeno is the supreme law. The warriors have exceeded the allowable limits and will now be destroyed.
The shadow creatures moved with an agility that defied logic, leaving behind them trails of darkness. Kakarot and Vegeta prepared for the confrontation, their energies flashing in response to the threatening presence.
Well, it looks like we have new opponents. This should be interesting.
No matter who sends them, will not allow them to stop our progress.
The shadow creatures, speechless, rushed towards Kakarot and Vegeta with flashing speed. The battle ahead would not only be a test of strength, but a struggle between light and darkness, between the determination of the warriors and the will of the father of Zeno-sama. The battle rages and the environment, plants, stones, and sky are witness to the incredible demonstration of power. Kakarot and Vegeta, deploying a great amount of ki, are in the center ready to face the two mysterious shadow warriors that attack them. Shadow Creature 1 moves at breakneck speed, leaving only flashes of darkness in its wake. Its form is ethereal, almost impossible to follow with the eye. It attacks with incredible precision, throwing punches and kicks that defy the perception of time. Shadow Creature 2 stands out for its devastating power. Its every strike sends out waves of dark energy that distort the surrounding space. Its presence emanates an ominous aura that shakes even the particles of space. The fight begins with Kakarot and Vegeta charging forward, but the shadow creatures respond with astonishing agility, dodging every blow and counterattacking with almost invisible movements. Faced with the speed of the Shadow Warriors, Kakarot and Vegeta are forced to raise their power to Super Saiyan level.
Vegeta, these guys are incredibly fast. I can't even keep up with their moves.
Looks like our usual speed isn't enough. We'll have to raise our power to the maximum.
Both Saiyans concentrate, their golden auras bursting as they transform into Super Saiyan. Their golden hair lights up the space as they launch into a fierce offensive. But the Shadow Warriors remain equally agile, gracefully dodging the attacks. The intensity of the power illuminates the space.
Now, Vegeta, let's go all out!
Let's go, Kakarot!
The Saiyans rush towards these Shadow Warriors with a fierce offensive. However, the Shadow creatures dodge their attacks with surprising grace, moving through the energy blast with ease.
Is that the best you can do, Saiyans?
Their speed is admirable, but they're still not up to par. Damn it! It can't go on like this, Kakarot. We need something else.
You're right, Vegeta. Let's take this to the next level.
Faced with persistent speed of the Shadow Warriors, Kakarot and Vegeta rise their power even higher, transforming into Super Saiyan Blue. Their blue auras flash with intensity and the pressure of their power shakes the surrounding space. However, the Shadow Warriors are not daunted. The battle reaches its peak as the four warriors are engulfed in a frenzy of energy. Kakarot launches his attack called Kamehameha, and Vegeta launches his final flash attack, but the Shadow Warriors respond with counterattacks that defy the laws of physics. Then the clash of these powerful attacks causes an immense explosion. At the precise moment that both Saiyan warriors, the shadow creatures, collided their attacks, the explosion resulting from the collision of the attacks left a crater on the battlefield, while a dense smoke obscured the view. Amidst the haze, Goku with a serious but confident expression, and Vegeta, also with a confident expression of having destroyed the shadow creatures with his attacks, stood on guard, ready to face whatever emerged from this smoke. Suddenly, as soon as the smoke dissipated from the battlefield, the shadowy creatures emerged unharmed, floating in the air with an even more intense presence. Their forms twisted, revealing an even darker and more powerful transformation. Now with eyes glowing with a more intense light, the shadow creatures uttered a great malevolent laugh and moved towards Goku and Vegeta with renowned ferocity. The sky was covered with dark clouds and lightning intermittently illuminated the scene. The creatures, once scattered, began to converge into a chaotic mass. Their bodies intertwined and merged, creating a monstrous entity that emanated a dark and malevolent aura. The fusion of the creatures was completed with a loud roar, and before Goku and Vegeta emerged, a nightmarish creature. The fused creature had a grotesque figure, with twisted limbs and glowing eyes filled with evil. Its body was enveloped in a halo of dark energy, which distorted the space around it. The ground shook with every step he took, and the waves of evil energy generated chaos on the battlefield. Goku and Vegeta exchanged determined glances. They knew they faced an unprecedented threat. The fusion of the creatures had given rise to a being of incredible power and speed. Goku frowned, clenching his fists, while Vegeta gave a cocky grin.
Kakarot, looks like things have become interesting. I didn't expect to have to face something like this. Yes, Vegeta, this creature's no joke. We're gonna have to give it our all.
Both warriors raised their ki to the maximum, surrounding themselves with an intense golden and blue aura. Their hair stood on end and the earth trembled under the pressure of their combined power. The fused creature responded with a guttural laugh and advanced towards them with great strides.
Come on, Vegeta, let's attack together and put an end to this.
For once, Kakarot, I agree. The battle reached its climax as Goku and Vegeta, enveloped in their golden and blue auras, launched themselves towards the fused creature. Every punch and burst of energy echoed through the air, creating a spectacle of flashes and booms. The creature, however, was not easy to defeat. Its agility and strength were astounding, dodging the Saiyan's attacks with ease.
Vegeta, we need to find an opening in its defense. Focus!
I know, Kakarot, but this thing's fast. The fused creature responded with a ripping attack, sending the Saiyans flying across the battlefield. Goku and Vegeta, however, quickly recovered and stood up with renewed determination.
We can't underestimate this thing. Come on, Vegeta, let's attack together.
All right, Kakarot, together we'll defeat it. Goku nodded and they concentrated their energies into an amazing combined attack. A brilliant flash of light and blue light materialized in their hands, growing with each second. The fused creature, seeing the imminent threat, tried to counterattack, but it was too late. Kamehameha! Final Flash! The powerful beam of combined energy shot towards the fused creature, illuminating the dark battle with its radiance. However, just when impact seemed inevitable, the creature, in the last act of desperation, deployed a dark shield that managed to resist the Saiyan's assault. The result explosion sent Goku and Vegeta flying backwards, returning them to their base form, leaving them dazed and severely injured on the ground. The fused creature, though weakened, struggled to its feet, its malevolent aura flickering, but far from fading completely.
Vegeta, we're in trouble. This thing's stronger than we thought! Vegeta, however, lay motionless on the ground with visible wounds and his aura rapidly diminishing. Vegeta! Don't give up, Vegeta! The fused creature, slowly recovering, calmly approached towards Vegeta with a palpable malevolence in its glowing eyes.
Your efforts are futile. I'm the amalgam of darkness itself. This is the end of you, Saiyan Prince.
Goku, full of rage and despair, stood up and threw himself towards the creature with what was left of his strength. However, the creature, with a simple wave of its hand, unleashed a wave of dark energy that enveloped Kakarot and threw him violently to the ground. Vegeta, we need a plan. The fused creature approached Vegeta, lifting him off the ground with one hand. The Saiyan Prince, barely conscious, opened his eyes to meet the cold, merciless gaze of his energy.
Kakarot, do whatever it takes.
The fused creature, with a contemptuous gesture, threw Vegeta back to the ground, leaving him on the verge of death. The battle, which had begun with hope, now became bleaker than ever. With his partner down and his own strength waning, Kakarot faced a strength that seemed insurmountable. Goku, sensing the desperation of the situation, recalled the hermit seeds he carried with him. The moment the fused creature came speeding towards him, Goku managed to dodge that blow swiftly, approached Vegeta and handed him one of the valuable seeds. Vegeta, eat this! It'll give you the energy to keep fighting! At the same time, Goku also consumed one of the seeds. Vegeta, barely conscious, accepted the seed and consumed it urgently. The hermit seed acted quickly, healing Vegeta's wounds and restoring his life energy. Flashes of golden light surrounded the Saiyan Prince. As he stood up, his eyes were gaining determination.
Kakarot, don't underestimate me. I can keep fighting.
Fine, Vegeta, but we need something else to defeat this creature. Do you remember the fusion technique? Vegeta frowned but nodded in understanding. Both Saiyans positioned themselves in front of the fused creature, focusing their energies. Vegeta, let's do it! Let's merge!
I don't think it'll come to this, Kakarot, but I have no choice.
Both warriors stood side by side, raising their hands into the front and began to concentrate their energies. The atmosphere was filled with a brilliant glow as the two Saiyans merged into a single entity. The resulting figure was a perfect combination of Goku and Vegeta, with a powerful golden aura enveloping their fused bodies. This fusion creature showed signs of unease as it witnessed the transformation. The new Saiyan entity turned to it with a determined look. The fusion between Goku and Vegeta, known as Gogeta, and his Super Saiyan form was now evident. Gogeta, with the combined voice of Goku and Vegeta, said, "Prepare for defeat. We're the fusion of the Saiyans, and there's nothing we cannot overcome." With a unified shout, the Saiyan fusion lunged towards the fused creature with incredible speed and power. The battle between the Saiyan fusion and the fused creature erupted into a frenzy of power and skill. Every move, every blow, every burst of energy shook the battlefield. The earth trembled under the intensity of the confrontation, and the sky lit up with the sparks of energy released during the fight. Gogeta, with the combination of Goku's cunning and Vegeta's determination, proved to be an unstoppable force. However, the fused creature did not yield easily, showing a resilience that defied expectations. Both contenders were at a stalemate, each pushing their limits to the max. Goku and Vegeta, in their fused form, began to feel the need to unleash more power to overcome their more formidable foe. In a moment of perfect synchronization, both Saiyans raised their ki to the limit, and the atmosphere itself began to be distorted with the built-up pressure.
It's time to take this to the next level!
In a dazzling flash, the Saiyan fusion underwent an astonishing metamorphosis. His once golden hair now turned sapphire blue, and his aura took on a heavenly hue. The transformation to Super Saiyan Blue had taken place. The fused creature recoiled momentarily as it witnessed the new form. Shocked by the magnitude of the power unleashed, however, the Saiyan fusion showed no mercy and lunged towards with dizzying speed.
Prepare for true Saiyan strength!
The attacks and counterattacks reached a speed that defied perception. The fused creature, despite its previous endurance, was outmatched by the speed and aggressiveness of the Saiyan fusion in its Super Saiyan Blue form. The battle had not yet come to an end. In a final attempt to resist, the fused creature unleashed its own dark power, enveloping the Saiyan fusion in a spiral of chaotic energy. Gogeta, in response, concentrated his energy to the maximum in an act of rage.
Let's go farther!
The energy surrounding the Saiyan fusion intensified and exploded in a dazzling burst. The bright blue aura became more intense, and the power of the Saiyan fusion increased to unimaginable levels. The sky lit up with glows and waves of energy as the fused creature faced Gogeta's unstoppable strength. However, in an unexpected twist, the creature began to build up a dark and sinister energy, revealing a hidden power.
Your resistance is impressive, Saiyans, but you have not seen my true potential.
The fused creature transformed, its fusion distorting further. A black aura filled with malevolence surrounded its body as its eyes glowed with terrifying intensity.
What the hell is it doing?
The fused creature, now imbued with a new dark power, lunged at Gogeta with surprising speed. Despite Gogeta's formidable strength in his Super Saiyan Blue form, the fused creature seemed to be able to anticipate even more.
Now you'll experience true darkness.
Gogeta sensed the threat, deciding to take his own power to the extreme. In a blink of an eye, he activated the technique, the Kaioken. His blue aura multiplied into a mixture of blue and red, and the intensity of the battle reached levels never seen before.
It's time to put an end to this! Kaioken!
Gogeta's speed and strength multiplied exponentially, and the fused creature was momentarily caught off guard. However, the creature counterattacked with a blast of dark energy that enveloped Gogeta, but he struggled to resist. Gogeta, in his Kaioken state, felt the need to raise his power even higher. Thus, his ki increased, causing the earth to tremble from such immense power, destroying mountains and lifting rocks into the skies. At that precise moment, he disappeared from the sight of the fused creature, appearing from behind and creating a glowing bluish sphere of energy that materialized between his hands.
Final Kamehameha!
The energy sphere impacted against the fused creature with unparalleled force. The resulting explosion lit up the sky, dispersed the creature's dark energy. However, when the light faded, the fused creature emerged once again, albeit visibly weakened.
Do not underestimate my power, Saiyans. I have attained a form beyond your comprehension.
Gogeta, sensing the gravity of the situation, prepared for the next confrontation. The battle, far from over, was entering even more dangerous terrain, with the fate of the universe hanging in the balance in this fierce struggle between light and darkness. The battlefield was plunged into utter chaos, with destructive shockwaves reverberating throughout space. Gogeta, with his combined aura of Super Saiyan Blue and Kaioken, was moving at speeds that defied perception. The fused creature, despite his new enhanced form, was momentarily outmatched by the Saiyan warrior's speed.
Darkness cannot defeat light! It's time to seal your fate!
Though weakened, the fused creature did not give up. With impressive speed, it lunged towards Gogeta, unleashing a series of dark attacks that even defied the Kaioken's speed.
Your light is but a fleeting glimmer. In the eternity of darkness, you will suffer.
Gogeta, with sharp reflexes at precise moments, will dodge the fused creature's attacks. The battle reached an even greater frenzy, with a clash of fists and kicks creating waves of energy that swept the surrounding landscape. The once dark and stormy sky were illuminated by the flashes on the contest. In the beginning of the moment of opportunity, Gogeta channeled the Kaioken to an even higher level. His aura became more intense, mixing blue with red in a dazzling display. Seeing the new burst of power, the fused creature recoiled momentarily, a moment Gogeta took advantage of to gather energy.
This is the limit of your darkness! Prepare for the end!
Gogeta, with unmatched speed, appeared in front of the fused creature, concentrating his energy to a single point. A glowing sphere of energy formed between his hands, but this time, the sphere was not blue, it was a mixture of colors. A fusion of the power of Super Saiyan Blue and Kaioken.
Kaioken 20 times! Final Kamehameha!
The now larger, more powerful energy sphere hurled with impressive speed towards the fused creature. The resulting explosion illuminated the entire horizon, causing the mountains and valleys to be enveloped in a dazzling glow. When the light faded, the fused creature lay defeated on the ground. Its dark aura completely dissipated. Gogeta, with his Super Saiyan Blue form and Kaioken still activated, watched cautiously. The intense battle had come to an end, but the price of the confrontation was reflected in the devastated Earth and the wear and tear visible on the Saiyan warrior.
I hope that was enough. This universe can't take any more of this destruction.
With a flash, Gogeta deactivated the Kaioken and returned to his base form. As silence descended over the battlefield, the lingering question was whether the threat had truly been eliminated or if there was still challenges to be faced in the vast cosmos. Goku and Vegeta, feeling that the threat had been neutralized for the moment, separated from the Saiyan fusion. The intensity of the battle had left both Saiyans exhausted, but their attention was diverted to a disturbing reality. In the corner of their vision, they watched as a small dark creature made its way towards where Gohan and Broly were standing.
Vegeta, something's happening! We must get there fast!
Those two are in trouble if that thing gets to them. Let's go, Goku! Both Saiyans, despite their exhaustion, dashed towards Gohan and Broly's location with as much speed as possible. As they approached, they could see the dark creature getting closer and closer to the two warriors. Gohan, who was training with Broly in an attempt to increase his skills, noticed Goku and Vegeta's arrival urgently.
Dad! Vegeta! Something's coming!
Broly, with his piercing gaze, had also sensed the approaching threat.
Evil creature, we will fight!
The small dark creature, noticing the presence of the Saiyans, stopped advancing and displayed a malevolent laugh.
Ha ha ha! Your victory was short-lived. This is only the first of many surprises.
Before they could react, the dark creature split into multiple smaller shadows, surrounding Gohan and Broly with astonishing speed.
Watch out, Broly! They're fast and dangerous!
We will fight! We won't let them defeat us!
Goku and Vegeta, arriving just in time, joined the battle. The battle became a chaotic dance of blows and explosions as the Saiyans fought the dark shadows that multiplied endlessly.
Let's finish this quickly! Gohan, Broly, stay strong!
Got it, Vegeta!
Broly, unleashing his titanic power, emitted a wave of energy that temporarily dispersed the dark shadows. However, the dark creature, in a final act of desperation, merged back into a larger, more powerful form.
My shadows cannot be so easily defeated. The real battle has just begun.
The shadow creature, now strengthened and more menacing than ever, faced the four Saiyan warriors with palpable malevolence. Gohan, Broly, Goku, and Vegeta moved into battle stance, facing the shadow creature with determination.
Come on, guys! Let's work together and put an end to this menace once and for all!
Broly growled in agreement, his power emanating from him with an imposing force. Goku and Vegeta, despite their earlier exhaustion, raised their energies ready for the battle ahead. The shadow creature, with a sinister laugh, lunged towards them with surprising speed. The Saiyans responded with a coordinated assault, launching energy blasts and performing combo attacks. However, the shadow creature was agile and dodged their attacks with ease.
We can't let this thing get away. Concentrate on attacking together.
You're right, Vegeta. If we fight them as a team, we can overcome anything.
The four Saiyans synchronized their movements, attacking in harmony. Broly unloaded titanic blows. Gohan used his agility and advanced techniques, while Goku and Vegeta coordinated their energies to create a combined assault. Despite their efforts, the shadow creature proved to be resilient and adaptable. It defended with cunning and counterattacked with fury. In a moment of tension, the shadow creature unleashed a dark glow that enveloped its form, transforming to an even more powerful and monstrous version.
It's getting stronger again!
It doesn't matter. I'll destroy it.
The battle intensified as the shadow creature, in its enhanced form, launched waves of dark energy and unleashed more devastating attacks. The Saiyans, however, did not back down. Despite the gravity of the situation, their determination burned stronger than ever.
There's no limit to our strength when we fight together! Come on, guys, we can't lose!
This thing doesn't know who it's messing with. Get ready for what's coming!
Gohan, Broly, Goku, and Vegeta channeled their energies to the maximum, shaking the earth under the intensity of their combined power. In a unified act, the four Saiyans raised their ki to the limit and lunged towards the shadow creature with indomitable resolve. The shadow creature, now in its strengthened form, unleashed a dark energy that enveloped Broly, possessing the mighty Saiyan with a malevolent influence. Broly, his eyes now awash with shadows, stood before the other Saiyans with a menacing presence.
Broly, I won't let you be used as a puppet. We must save him. We won't let this thing manipulate Broly. Come on, guys, let's protect ourselves and save our friend.
This is getting more complicated than I thought. But no matter, we won't let the darkness win.
The battle began with the Shadow Creature using Broly's immense power against them. The controlled Saiyan's attacks were fierce, with waves of energy and bursts of ki that challenged even the most experienced warriors. The Saiyans dodged and counterattacked, but the Shadow Creature took advantage of Broly's brute strength to counter his moves.
We must weaken it enough to free Broly! Dad, Vegeta, let's follow the plan and attack in unison!
The three Saiyans coordinated, launching a series of swift and powerful attacks. However, the Shadow Creature moved with agility, dodging most of the blows and countering with blows of its own. Broly, under the influence of the Dark Possession, was showing superhuman endurance.
It's not enough! Broly, fight against this influence!
We must force him to break free. We're gonna give it our all.
In a moment of desperation, the Saiyans decided to raise their powers to the maximum. Goku transformed into Super Saiyan second stage, Gohan advanced his mystical form, and Vegeta unleashed his own power into Super Saiyan second stage. The three Saiyans surrounded Broly, launching a combination of flurry of powerful attacks.
Broly, resist! Don't let their darkness consume you!
The Shadow Creature, feeling the combined presence of the three Saiyan warriors, showed signs of weakness. However, in a desperate act, the dark energy intensified its hold on Broly, raising its power even higher and unleashing unbridled fury.
We can't give up! We're going to free Broly, whatever it takes!
The battle reached its climax as the three Saiyan warriors, Goku, Gohan, and Vegeta, clashed against the Shadow Creature possessing Broly. The unleashed energy created a spectacle of flashes, explosions, and shockwaves that shook the battlefield. Goku, with his power as a Super Saiyan, moved with astonishing speed, launched energy blasts and accurate punches at the Shadow Creature. Gohan, in his mystical form, unleashed a combination of fast attacks and advanced techniques, seeking to weaken the dark possession that controlled Broly. Vegeta, in his Super Saiyan second phase form, displayed titanic power, coordinating his attacks with calculated precision.
Broly, listen to my voice! Don't be consumed by this darkness!
The Shadow Creature, however, resisted tenaciously, harnessing Broly's brute strength and ferocity to counter the Saiyan's attacks. Broly, under the Dark Possession, responded with unstoppable strength, his attacks more intense and uncontrolled.
We need to weaken that possession! Come on, guys, keep up the pressure!
This dark power won't last forever. We must resist!
The battle grew more frantic. With each passing moment, the Shadow Creature, sensing the threat of the Saiyans, intensified its hold on Broly, fusing its dark energy with the brute strength of the legendary Saiyan.
We can't back down now! Broly's our friend, and we won't let this darkness control him!
In a moment of perfect synchronization, the three Saiyans focused their energies into a coordinated attack. Goku launched a Kamehameha, Gohan unleashed a Masenko, and Vegeta fired a final flash, all aimed at the Shadow Creature. The resulting explosion illuminated the battlefield, creating an energy storm. However, when the light faded, the Shadow Creature and Broly still stood, visibly weakened but far from defeated.
It's not enough! We must find a way to free Broly from this possession!
At that moment, the Shadow Creature, taking advantage of the Saiyan's momentary weakness, launched a surprise attack, sending Goku and Gohan to the ground. Vegeta, with his rage in his eyes, stood up determined.
Enough's enough! We won't let this thing continue to manipulate Broly.
Vegeta concentrated his ki to the maximum, unleashing a new transformation. His intense blue aura transformed into an even brighter and more powerful hue.
Super Saiyan Blue!
The atmosphere itself seemed to tremble at the magnitude of the transformation. Vegeta, now in his evolved form, launched himself towards the Shadow Creature with renewed speed and power. Vegeta's transformation in Super Saiyan Blue Evolved caused a dramatic change in the intensity of the battle. His bright blue aura flashed with overwhelming energy as he charged towards the shadowy creature and Broly, who was still under his influence.
It's time to put an end to this. Broly, I'll fight to free you from this darkness.
The Shadow Creature, sensing the threat posed by Super Saiyan Blue, adopted a defensive stance. On the other hand, Broly, his eyes still darkened, prepared to face Vegeta. Vegeta unleashed a flurry of quick and precise attacks, combining punches and kicks with astonishing speed. Each move was charged with the strength of the new form, and the Shadow Creature was forced to retreat in the face of Vegeta's fury.
Broly, regain control. I'll not allow this darkness to consume you.
Broly, under the influence of the Dark Possession, responded with impressive stamina. His attacks were brutal and uncontrolled, but Vegeta moved with a dexterity that defied expectations.
I need to find an opening in this possession.
In an act of bravery, Vegeta launched himself directly towards Broly. Their fists collided forcefully, and Vegeta, using all his skill, made precise strikes that temporarily weakened the dark influence.
Broly, fight this! You're stronger than this darkness!
The shadowy creature, seeing Vegeta's resistance, increased his energy and fused even more with Broly. Now the dark influence was more entrenched than ever, and Broly unleashed an explosion of wild power.
You can't stop me, Saiyan Prince!
Vegeta, not backing down, continued to engage Broly. The battle reached new heights as both warriors unleashed their most powerful attacks. Vegeta launched a Big Bang attack while Broly responded with a gigantic charge of dark energy. The collision of energies generated a huge explosion that blanketed the area. After the dust settled, Vegeta lay on the ground, clearly exhausted but not giving up.
I can't lose. My determination's stronger than your darkness.
The battle between Vegeta and Broly, who was possessed by the shadow creature, reached a critical point. The overflowing energy of the confrontation was spreading across the battlefield, distorting the air and creating palpable tension. At that crucial moment, Goku found himself regaining consciousness, stood up, and immediately went to Saiyan Prince's side.
Vegeta, let's go! Let's give it all we've got!
Goku's transformation into Super Saiyan Phase 2 had joined the fray. The shadow creature, seeing the arrival of another Saiyan warrior, prepared to face the new threat.
Kakarot, you're just in time. This thing has gotten stronger with Broly.
We'll face it together! Broly, we won't let this darkness control you!
The three Saiyans stood in formation, ready to deal with the shadow creature fused with Broly. The intensity of the conflict increased even more with flashes of energy and clashes of fists echoing throughout the battlefield.
Come on, Kakarot, let's attack in unison and free Broly.
I got it, Vegeta! Together, we'll free him!
The Saiyans coordinated their attacks, launching a combined blast towards the shadow creature. Despite their efforts, Broly's dark possession was still resisting, fueled by the brute strength of the legendary Saiyan. Broly, under the influence of the shadow creature, unleashed an uncontrolled fury. His attacks were unpredictable and devastating, putting the Saiyans on the defensive. Goku, Vegeta, and the shadow creature continued to exchange energy blasts and powerful blows.
Vegeta, we must break that possession! We can't let Broly fall into darkness!
Roger that, Kakarot. Let's keep attacking together.
Amidst the chaos of the battlefield, the fiery aura of the Saiyans lit up the sky, a visual manifestation of their mammoth power. Goku and Vegeta, feeling the weight of the battle, decided to take it a step further. They joined their energies in a symphony of power, a final bid to tear apart the shadows enveloping the evil presence. The shadow creature on the brink of the abyss responded with desperation. It raised its own power and the darkness churned with intensity as it struggled to resist the combined onslaught of the Saiyans. The clash of energies created a cataclysm of flashes and booms, shaking the battlefield to its core. At that critical moment, the energy explosion was unleashed with dazzling magnificence. The earth shook, and the shockwaves swept across the landscape, leaving behind a trail of destruction. Goku, Vegeta, and Broly, enveloped in the blanket of the explosion, were momentarily eclipsed by the blinding light and dancing shadow. When the shimmering luminosity faded, the Saiyans found themselves faced with a new scenario. On the ground lay Broly, his figure shrouded in a residual haze of the contest. The dark aura that had consumed him had finally dissipated. Stillness reigned on the battlefield. As the warriors approached with worried looks, the formidable warrior who now resisted, his power darkened, finally silenced.
We did it, Vegeta! Broly's free!
Yes, but this shadow creature's still a problem. We can't let our guard down.
Vegeta nodded grimly as they watched Broly, who lay on the ground, slowly recovering from the intense battle. However, at that moment of apparent calm, the shadow creature, cunning and unnoticed, had left Broly's possession to seek a new host. The dark entity swiftly swept into the shadows, unnoticed by the Saiyans, who still assessing their companion's condition. Silently, the shadow creature crept towards Gohan, who had been watching the battle from a distance. Gohan, oblivious to the threat looming over him, felt a shiver run down his spine, just as the shadow creature enveloped him with its dark presence. A momentary flash of its eyes indicated that something was terribly wrong. At that instant, Gohan, with a sudden alteration in his expression, went on guard without warning. His gaze, now posed by the shadow creature, glowed with a malevolence that contrasted with his gentle nature. Goku, noticing the sudden tension, turned towards Gohan, but before he could react, Gohan, under the influence of the shadow creature, moved with supernatural speed. The confrontation with Broly had left the Saiyans exhausted, and the shadow creature, seizing the opportunity, vanished into the darkness along with Gohan. Vegeta, realizing the situation, gritted his teeth in fury. The threat persisted, and now Gohan, a valuable ally, was in the hands of the shadows. Goku and Vegeta, despite their exhaustion, prepared for a new confrontation, aware that the battle had not yet come to an end. The tension in the air was palpable, as Goku and Vegeta, still worried about Broly, with determination, turned towards the place where the dark entity had vanished.
Damn it, where'd that thing go? I don't know, Vegeta, but we must find it before it hurts Gohan.
The two Saiyans, quick as the wind, rushed towards where Gohan had been standing, their senses alert. The shadow creature, now inside Gohan, emerged from the shadows with a sinister laugh.
Looks like they're not as cunning as they thought. Now I have a new toy for my plans. Get out of Gohan, you damn creature.
I'll not allow you to possess my son!
Ha! You think you could stop me? My power possesses even more of your combined forces. Do not underestimate the Saiyans. We have overcome greater challenges than you.
Leave Gohan and face your fate, creature. You'll not be victorious. The shadow creature, now in control of Gohan, smiled malevolently before responding.
We'll see how long you can resist. Gohan is now an instrument of my will.
The shadow creature possessing Gohan unleashed a burst of dark energy that distorted the surrounding space. Goku and Vegeta suddenly found themselves during a chaotic confrontation, with Gohan now transformed into an instrument of the malevolent entity. The waves of energy radiating from Gohan's possessed figure created an ominous aura that filled the battlefield, defying the Saiyans' endurance and determination. The Saiyans, in their Super Saiyan Blue form, prepared for the impending clash. The shadow creature, using Gohan's body, moved with supernatural agility, dodging the Saiyans' first attacks with grace and malice. Gohan, his eyes now filled with darkness, lunged at Goku with astonishing speed. Goku blocked Gohan's first few blows with difficulty, feeling the enhanced strength and speed of his new controlled son. The fight was intense, each move charged with power and ferocity. Meanwhile, Vegeta positioned himself strategically, assessing the situation, looking for an opening to attack. The shadow creature, through Gohan, unleashed a flurry of attack, which devastating blows that kept Goku on the defensive. However, Goku's ability to adapt quickly to the battle allowed him to counter the attacks and counterattack with his own overwhelming power. Vegeta, sensing an opportunity, lunged at the shadow creature from an unexpected angle. However, the dark entity had sharp reflexes and deflected Vegeta's attack with ease, throwing Gohan against Goku as a distraction. The shadow creature's strategy paid off, as it took advantage of the distraction to hit Vegeta with a beam of dark energy. Vegeta, although he resisted the impact, was momentarily weakened. The entity, now with a malevolent smile, turned to him.
Damn it! This isn't over, shadow creature.
Goku, reacting quickly, stepped between the shadow creature and Vegeta.
Vegeta, hold on! We can't let this thing divide us.
The shadow creature, enjoying the chaos at its zone, released a dark aura that enveloped both Saiyans. The dark energy sought to confuse and weaken their senses. However, the Saiyans' instinctive connection to Ki enabled them to resist the dark influence. The battle raged in a frenzy of clashing colors and energies. Gohan, controlled by the shadow creature, moved with a mixture of speed and agility that defied the laws of physics. Goku and Vegeta, each focusing on their own battlefront, were trying to coordinate their attacks to free Gohan from the dark possession.
Gohan, fight this darkness! You're stronger than this!
Gohan, though showing flashes of resistance, was caught in an internal struggle between his will and the shadow creature's control. The battle grew more challenging. With each passing second, the shadow creature reveled in its ability to manipulate and corrupt one of Earth's mightiest warriors. Vegeta, recovering from the earlier onslaught, threw himself back into the fray. The shadow creature, however, anticipated his attack and gracefully dodged Vegeta's attempts to strike it. The dark entity counterattacked with a series of precise blows that forced Vegeta to retreat.
You damn shadow, don't underestimate the Prince of the Saiyans.
Goku, seeing his partner's difficulty, raised his power to the maximum. Dazzling energy emanated from his Super Saiyan Blue form as he prepared for a concentrated attack. The shadow creature, noticing the glowing threat, diverted its attention to Goku.
Vegeta, keep up the pressure. I'm gonna concentrate my energy to free Gohan.
Vegeta nodded and increased his offensive, distracting the shadow creature as Goku concentrated his power. The fight reached a new level of intensity, with each move echoing across the vast battlefield. The energy collided, creating shockwaves that distorted reality itself. Goku, eyes glowing with determination, unleashed his most powerful attack. A sphere of glowing blue energy formed in his outstretched hands. Charged with the combined strength of the Saiyans, the spear grew in size and the power as Goku had held it in place.
It's time to free Gohan!
The shadow creature, realizing the threat, moved quickly to stop Goku's attack. Vegeta, taking advantage of the distraction, lunged with renewed fury, looking for an opening to attack. The battle reached its climax when Goku released the energy sphere, ascending it directly towards the shadow creature. The energy sphere burst into a dazzling flash, illuminating the battlefield with intense light. Shockwaves swept through the darkness as Goku's purifying energy sought to free Gohan from the shadow creature's possession. However, as the light faded and the earth stopped shaking, the shadow creature emerged seemingly unharmed. The dark entity, now irritated, turned to the Saiyans with a twisted laugh.
Is that all you can do? My power is unbreakable.
Goku and Vegeta, despite their exhaustion, prepared for the next assault. The battle, far from ending, dragged on into confrontation of epic proportions. Darkness and light collided in an endless clash, with the will of the Saiyans resisting against the entity that threatened to plunge them into the shadows. The dark creature, after resisting Goku's powerful attack, showed a malicious smile. A dark glow enveloped Gohan, and his body began to tremble with intensity. A guttural scream echoed through the air as the dark entity forced a unique transformation on the Saiyan warrior. Gohan, under the shadow creature's influence, contorted and his body was enveloped in a dark, feral energy. The earth trembled with the intensity of the transformation, and Gohan's figure began to change. Defined musculature, red eyes, a wild gaze, long gray hair, and emerging in the new form, Gohan Dark Beast. Vegeta and Goku, shocked by the unexpected evolution, instinctively recoiled from the overwhelming presence of Dark Gohan Beast. The shadow creature had accomplished what it could not do with Broly, unleash a unique and uncontrolled transformation on Gohan. Dark Beast Gohan, now freed from any hint of rationality, roared skyward, emitting an overwhelming energy that shook the battlefield. His eyes glowed with an animalistic intensity, and his posture indicated that human control was suppressed.
This can't be happening. What did that thing do?
The shadow creature managed to unlock something inside Gohan. This won't be easy.
The shadow creature, pleased with the success of its manipulation, watched the scene with satisfaction.
Now, witness my true power. The Saiyan Beast Warrior. How do you plan to stop him?
Dark Beast Gohan let out a deafening roar and lunged towards Vegeta with impressive speed. Dark Beast Gohan's attacks were ferociously savage, his brute strength and speed surpassing even Broly's most rampaging transformation. Vegeta, using his speed and agility, dodged Dark Beast Gohan's first attacks. However, the Saiyan Beast Warrior's ferocity was unpredictable, and Vegeta was forced to deploy all his skill to stay out of range of the devastating attacks. Goku, assessing the situation, transformed into Super Saiyan Blue and rushed to Vegeta's aid. The two Saiyans fought in tactical coordination, looking to open an opportunity to counter Gohan's savage new form. The battle became a whirlwind of energy, with explosions and crashes echoing across the battlefield. The shadow creature in the shadows continued to manipulate and fuel Dark Beast Gohan's fury. The Saiyan strategy was becoming more and more challenging as Dark Beast Gohan seemed to be one step ahead, anticipating their moves.
Damn it! Gohan Beast is too unpredictable.
We must find a way to free Gohan from this transformation. We can't let the shadow control his true power.
As the Saiyans faced Gohan Beast's fury, the shadow creature watched from the shadows, enjoying the chaos he had unleashed. The situation was becoming more critical with each passing moment, and the Saiyans' endurance was being tested in the face of Beast Gohan's uncontrollable fury. The battle raged on in a titanic struggle between light and darkness, with the hope of freeing Gohan from the influence of the shadow creature hanging in delicate balance. The Saiyans, determined to overcome this challenge, faced an enemy that had managed to unleash an even greater internal threat than before. While the intense battle raged on the battlefield, Piccolo, the Namekian sage, was immersed in his mental training somewhere secluded. His concentration was so deep that he could feel an abrupt shift in ki, a disturbance that reverberated through space and time. A shiver ran down his back, indicating the gravity of the situation.
Something's not right.
The Namekian instantly stood up, his cloak billowing as he focused on the direction of the glowing chaos. The power he felt was not just brute force. It was an amalgam of dark energies that seemed to defy the very essence of reality. Wasting no time, Piccolo prepared to approach this side of the conflict. Back on the battlefield, Goku and Vegeta fought valiantly against Dark Beast Gohan, who moved with uncontrollable ferocity under the influence of the shadow creature. The dark entity, sensing Piccolo's arrival, smirked.
Looks like we have a new guest. This just gets more interesting.
Goku and Vegeta focused on Gohan Beast, noticing Piccolo's presence as he appeared on the battlefield with a serenity that contrasted with the surrounding chaos.
What happened here? What have you done with Gohan? That shadow thing possessed Gohan and transformed it into a wild beast.
We can't free Gohan this way. The shadow creature manipulates his power in unimaginable ways.
Dark Beast Gohan, noticing Piccolo's arrival, turned to him with wild eyes. The shadow creature, enjoying the chaos, prepared for the next act of this heartbreaking play.
Welcome, Piccolo. You're just in time to witness the inevitable downfall of these Saiyans. Don't underestimate the Saiyans or my determination. I'm here to free Gohan.
The Namekian braced himself for the confrontation, deploying his ki with an intensity that made it clear he would not be a mere spectator in this battle. Dark Beast Gohan, fueled by the shadowy influence, roared and lunged towards Piccolo with a speed that defied all logic. The battle became even more chaotic with Piccolo's entrance. His movements were precise and calculated, contrasting with the wild ferocity of Dark Beast Gohan. Goku and Vegeta, aware of Piccolo's strategic skill, adjusted their approach to coordinate their attacks with the Namekian. Meanwhile, the shadow creature watched the battle with a Machiavellian smile, enjoying the confrontation between the forces of light and shadow. The dark entity was determined to prove that its influence was insurmountable. The fight unfolded in a whirlwind of colliding energies, with Piccolo demonstrating his tactical and strategic prowess. Dark Beast Gohan, however, remained a formidable challenge, his erratic movements and uncontrolled strength testing the tenacity of the warriors on the battlefield.
Goku, Vegeta, we need to plan to break the connection between Gohan and that shadow creature.
You're right, Piccolo. We need to attack from different fronts and destabilize that connection.
I'll take care of keeping Beast Gohan busy. Kakarot, you use the connection you have with your son to try to isolate the shadow creature.
Goku and Vegeta, coordinating their efforts with Piccolo's strategic expertise, went on the assault. Piccolo used his wisdom to be able to devise a way to get Dark Beast Gohan out of said possession, while Vegeta unleashed his fury with calculated attacks to keep the beast at bay. As the battle continued, the shadow creature began to feel the pressure of the combined strategy of the Saiyans and Piccolo. The connection between Gohan and the dark entity was under threat, and the shadow creature, despite its confidence, was beginning to show signs of concern. The battle was far from over, but the warriors' resilience was growing stronger in the face of the adversity that loomed over them. As Piccolo continued his mental struggle to free Gohan from the shadow creature's possession, his Namekian senses sharpened. Keen perception led him to identify a small shadow leech clinging to Dark Beast Gohan's lower neck, a detail that had not been evident in Broly's previous possession due to his long hair covering that region.
That's it. The key in this little shadow leech on his neck. We must eliminate it to free Gohan.
Piccolo's revelation attracted the attention of Vegeta and Goku on the physical battlefield. Vegeta, upon hearing this, turned his gaze to the back of Gohan Beast's dark neck and noticed the presence of the Shadow Leech.
A Shadow Leech? That explains why we couldn't free Broly this way.
How do we eliminate it without harming Gohan?
As Piccolo struggled to maintain his mental connection, he analyzed this situation and came up with a strategy.
If we attack the Shadow Leech directly, we might harm Gohan in the process. We need a precise way to eliminate it without endangering his life. So what's the plan, Piccolo? Goku, you've mastered Ultra Instinct, but you can only maintain it for a few seconds. We need to take advantage of those brief moments to distract Dark Beast Gohan and allow you to get close enough to destroy the Shadow Leech.
Understood, Piccolo. I'll do my best.
But how do we make sure Beast Gohan doesn't attack while Kakarot's approaching? That's the tricky part. We need to keep Gohan busy and distracted. Vegeta, your attacks must be precise and constant, keeping his attention on you.
I will, but Kakarot, don't make me regret this.
The battle resumed with renowned intensity. Vegeta went on the offensive, attacking Gohan Dark Beast with a series of swift and powerful blows. Gohan responded with ferocity, but Vegeta maintained agile, dodging his attacks while keeping the Savage Saiyan warrior's attention. At that moment, Goku concentrated, channeling Ultra Instinct. An aura of flickering energy surrounded him as he activated the powerful transformation. His speed increased exponentially, allowing him to easily dodge Dark Beast Gohan's attacks.
Now, Goku, now's your chance.
Goku in his Ultra Instinct state moved with superhuman speed towards Gohan's rear. The shadow creature, still focused on the fierce confrontation with Vegeta, did not notice Goku's approach. This is my chance to end this! With pinpoint accuracy, Goku reached out his hand and touched the small shadow leech on Gohan's neck. The leech, upon being touched by the Ultra Instinct energy, began to fade, emitting a dark screech before dissolving completely. Dark Beast Gohan, losing connection with the Shadow Leech, shook violently, as if releasing himself from a trance. Vegeta, noticing the change, cautiously stepped back as Goku returned to his normal state. What happened?
Kakarot seems to have found a way to free you from that thing.
It was risky, but it worked.
Well done, Goku, but don't let your guard down. This shadow creature might have more tricks up its sleeve.
The immediate threat had been neutralized. The shadow creature, watching from the shadows, moving away unnoticed by the Saiyan warriors, was not about to give up. So the shadow creature set out to return to its master. After the terrifying moment that the Z warriors had experienced, Goku and Vegeta realized that Beerus and Whis were not on Earth. They had disappeared just moments before the shadow creatures appeared on Earth. This is because Daishinkan discovered that Zeno-sama had been killed by his father and immediately summoned all the angels and gods of destruction. In the majestic realm of all, Daishinkan, the high priest, summoned all the angels and gods of destruction of the existing universes. The atmosphere in the hall was unusually tense, and concern was reflected in the faces of those present. Daishinkan, with his usual calmness, prepared to share the disturbing truth he had discovered.
Angels and gods of destruction, the time has come to face a powerful truth. Zeno-sama, our beloved king of all, has been slain.
Silence fell over the hall. The angels and the gods of destruction exchanged looks of disbelief and dismay. No one expected that such a tragedy could occur, especially at the hands of someone so powerful.
My investigation revealed that the one responsible for this abominable act was Zeno-sama's own father.
The news resounded like a somber echo in the room. Everyone present processed the shocking revelation. The omnipresent figure of Zeno-sama, the supreme deity, had been shattered by his own protagonist. Mohito, Sidra's angel, spoke in a worried voice. How is it possible that a being as powerful as Zeno-sama's father could have committed such an act?
That is a question for which I still have no answers. But now we must face the consequences of this event. The stability of the multiverse is in danger.
Arak, the god of destruction of Quitella, asked, "And what measures will we take in the face of this threat? What'll happen to the throne of Zeno-sama?"
That is a question we must discuss and resolve. For now, the throne remains empty, and our duty is to maintain peace and balance. But before we make hasty decisions, we need to fully understand the magnitude of this situation.
Beerus and Whis prepared to inform the gods of destruction and angels of all universes about what they had witnessed while on planet Earth with Goku and Vegeta. The hall of the realm of everything was filled with celestial beings, each one expectant and worried about the news they were about to receive.
Attention everyone! We have crucial information to share about the events that have been unfolded.
Before we are summoned here, the father of Zeno-sama appeared on all the planets of the multiverse. Surprise was reflected on the faces of those present. Murmurs and whispers filled the room, as the gods of destruction and angels exchanged looks of disbelief. His visit was not simply to report the death of Zeno-sama. He announced the holding of the tournament that would determine the survival of the planets in each universe. Additional rumors filled the room, creating a constant buzz of concern. The gods of destruction and angels wanted to understand the implications of such an announcement. He informed the rules of the tournament and the intentions behind such a competition, but it's necessary that we all work together to get answers and face this threat. It is time to join forces and overcome this crisis. The fate of our universes is at stake. As the gods and angels absorbed the gravity of the situation, in every corner of the hall of the realm of everything, conversations and plans were brewing to confront the mysterious tournament that threatened to upset the balance of the multiverse. Uncertainty hung in the air, but the determination of the divine beings was determined to face the unknown that lay ahead. In the Hall of Everything, Daishinkan, the High Priest, sensed the imminent arrival of extremely powerful entities heading for the different planets of the multiverse. His face reflected seriousness as he prepared to inform all the angels and gods of destruction present of the coming threat. Gods and angels of destruction, the time has come to face a new and challenging threat. Entities of great power are headed towards the planets of our universes, and their goal seems to be a direct confrontation with the strongest warriors of each world. The expressions of those present became serious. Aware of the gravity of the situation, Daishinkan continued with determination. It's crucial that we move quickly to protect the strongest warriors of each planet, regardless of which universe they belong to. The threat we face does not respect universal boundaries, and we must act with unity to preserve the balance. Vados, the Angel of Champa, raised his hand. How do you plan for us to move, Daishinkan? We each have responsibilities in our universes. I understand the complexity of this situation, but the magnitude of this threat requires immediate action. I suggest that every angel and god of destruction move to the planets threatened by this unknown force. We must prevent the strongest warriors from being defeated before we can fully understand our enemies. Sounds like a sensible plan, Daishinkan. If we all work together, we can protect our warriors and gain more information about these powerful entities. Each angel and god of destruction nodded in agreement, accepting the need to act immediately. They moved quickly to the various planets, casting aside universal barriers in a joint effort to safeguard the multiverse. May the wisdom and power of each of you guide this effort. Let us not underestimate this new threat. Our duty is to protect the existence of our universes. With those words, the angels and gods of destruction dispersed, leaving the Hall of All in preparation to face a challenge that transcended universal boundaries and demanded the collaboration of all divine beings. Uncertainty hung in the air, but determination to preserve the balance of the multiverse guided the powerful beings in their joint mission. The angels and gods of destruction quickly teleported to the threatened planets, each determined to protect the strongest warriors on the various planets. In the blink of an eye, the skies lit up with flashes of divine energy as Awamo and Ewin, Cognac and Quintella, Matanu and Geen, Wissambiris, and the other angels and gods of destruction headed toward their assigned destinations. The planet Thraxis Nocturnae lay peaceful in the corner of the cosmos, its nocturnal luminosity radiating a tranquility that was about to be disturbed. In the vast space, Awamo the angel, with his small book in hand, and his god of destruction Ewin, an imposing figure with a stern gaze, detected the arrival of a shadow creature, a minion of Zeno-sama's father. The creature, shrouded in malevolent darkness, descended with malevolent determination towards Thraxis Nocturnae. Ewin, without hesitation, deployed his energy of destruction while Awano stood by, hoping to resolve the conflict without a bath of chaos. Creature, your darkness will not be tolerated in this realm. Stop your destructive plans. The shadow creature emanated a guttural growl, its presence emanating an unnatural energy that distorted the space around it. The space battle began with an explosion of opposing forces. Ewin launched destructive beams, while Awamo used his speed to dodge the attacks and assess the situation. Ewin, this creature's stronger than we imagined. We must be cautious. I know, Awamo, but we can't let him destroy Thraxis Nocturnae. We must give our best. The shadow creature, agile and evasive, responded to the attacks with dark energy waves that distorted space. The battle spread across the firmament, leaving traces of destructive energy in its wake. Iwin tried to anticipate the creature's movements. However, the shadow creature proved to be agile and adaptive, countering every strategy with an unmatched dark force.
Our conventional methods don't work. Iwin, we need to combine our forces.
I agree, Awamo. It's time to show them the true power of destruction.
Awamo and Iwin merged their energies, creating a flash of light that defied the surrounding darkness. The shadow creature, perceiving the threat, intensified its own energy, generating a collision of cosmic forces that shook space itself. The battle reached a fever pitch, with cosmic explosions lighting up the scene as Awamo and Iwin struggled to contain the darkness. This struggle took place not only on the physical plane, but also on the spiritual one, where the will to protect Thraxis Nocturne was pitted against the ruthless ambition of the shadow creature. The fusion of Awamo and Iwin unleashed a dazzling energy that eclipsed even the nocturnal luminosity of Thraxis Nocturne. The gold and violet glow enveloped the divine couple as they prepared to face the dark threat looming over the peaceful planet.
It's time to show the true extent of our power, Awamo.
The shadow creature, aware of the growing threat, rushed towards them with supernatural speed. Awamo, with his keen perception, anticipated every movement of the creature, allowing the couple to dodge its onslaughts with heavenly elegance.
Keep calm, Iwin. We must synchronize our movements to counteract their darkness.
Iwin nodded and unleashed a series of destructive energy blasts that lit up the space around him. However, the shadow creature responded with amazing agility, dodging every attack with meandering movements. The battle became a cosmic game of strategy and speed. The angel Awamo and the god of destruction Iwin soon realized that in order to defeat this entity, they would need a coordinated attack that transcended the limits of their individual abilities. In a moment of perfect timing, they unleashed a gale of combined energy. Awamo channeled the energy of destruction while Iwin released violet flashes of destruction.
Focus your energy, Awamo. Let's get rid of this darkness once and for all.
Awamo nodded and joined the attack with determination. The fused energy of both angel and god turned into a spear of golden and violet light that pierced through space with an impressive speed. The shadow creature, caught in the torrent of power, let out a heart-rending howl as it was enveloped by the luminosity. The impact was abysmal, generating an expansive wave that shook the cosmos. The darkness that enveloped the creature began to dissipate, revealing its twisted and weakened form. Awamo and Iwin, exhausted but triumphant, stood on guard ready for any eventuality.
We have managed to contain their darkness, but we can't let our guard down.
The shadow creature, now visibly weakened, recoiled before the imposing presence of Awamo and Iwin. The light had prevailed over the darkness in the cosmic corner of Thraxis Nocturne. The divine couple remained firm in their duty to protect the planet that this creature wanted to destroy. However, the battle was not yet over, and the fates of the planets remained uncertain in the vastness of space. After the shocked combined attack of Awamo and Iwin, the space around Thraxis Nocturne was vibrating with the residual energy of the cosmic battle. The shadow creature, apparently weakened, remained suspended in the cosmic void, enveloped in a dark glow that seemed to absorb the surrounding light. The divine couple watched cautiously, aware that the fate of Thraxis Nocturne was still hung in the cosmic balance.
Iwin, something's not right. The darkness of that creature seems to be getting stronger instead of weaker.
It seems that our attack has absorbed by her, but it shouldn't be possible. How can he transform our energy of destruction to his own power?
The shadow creature, now surrounded by a more intense aura, began to change its shape. Its twisted figure became more defined. His eyes shone with a malevolent lucidity. The darkness emanating from her was becoming denser, distorting the space around her.
You have underestimated my true potential, angel and god of destruction. Your energy has strengthened me beyond your comprehension.
The divine couple prepared for what was to come next, aware that the threat they faced had evolved. The shadow creature, now empowered by the absorbed energy, charged towards them with renewed speed and ferocity.
We need to be more cautious, Ewan. It seems that every blow we inflict makes her stronger.
Understood, Owamo, but we can't allow this darkness to devour Thraxus Nocturne.
The battle resumed with increased intensity. The shadow creature attacked with bursts of dark energy that cut through space, while Owamo and Ewan responded with flashes of golden and violet light. The cosmic dance of lights and shadows painted an epic picture in the vastness of the universe. Each blow and backlash echoed like thunder in space, distorting reality itself. Owamo, with his keen perception, tried to anticipate the movements of the dark creature, but the dark entity proved to be unpredictable. Ewan, with his energy of destruction, sought to weaken the creature, but his attacks seemed to be absorbed and turned into an additional source of power.
Every time we hit her, her power increases. We can't go on like this.
We must find a way to counteract his ability to absorb our energy. Do you have any ideas, Owamo?
Owamo pondered for a moment, his angelic mind working in search of a solution. Meanwhile, the shadow creature, aware of its opponent's confusion, took the opportunity to launch a surprise attack. A wave of dark energy enveloped Owamo and Ewan, distorting their perception and weakening their defenses.
Your resistance is useless. I am the embodiment of darkness. His light cannot prevail before me.
The situation was becoming more and more desperate for the divine couple as they struggled to resist the shadow creature's attacks. Owamo turned his attention to the small book he always carried with him. An idea began to form in his mind.
Ewan, I think I have an idea, but we need to synchronize our attacks in a different way.
Explain yourself, Owamo.
Owamo explained his plan to Ewan, who nodded in understanding. Both God and Angel prepared to put their strategy into practice. The shadow creature, confident in its superiority, launched into the attack again, but this time Owamo and Ewan were ready to respond differently.
Now, Ewan, combine your energy of destruction with mine in a more controlled way.
Ewan nodded and channeled his energy to Owamo, who, in turn, merged it with his. Instead of launching a direct attack, they created a sphere of combined light and energy that floated between them.
Do you think this tactic will change the outcome?
We'll see.
The energy sphere began to slowly expand, emanating a glowing light that contrasted the surrounding darkness. The shadow creature, curious but confident, watched the development with disdain.
The fused power is not only destructive, but it also has properties that counteract its absorption capacity.
The combined energy sphere, now reaching its maximum expansion, released a wave of light and energy that enveloped the shadow creature. This time, instead of absorbing the power, the darkness that characterized her began to dissipate.
What is this? My power should not be weakened.
We create an energy that goes beyond destruction and creation, one that neutralizes the darkness that you're trying to absorb.
The shadow creature, weakened by Owamo and Ewan's strategic counterattack, retreated as the combined energy sphere continued to exert its effect. The light emanating from the sphere began to purify the darkness surrounding the entity, revealing its original form before corruption.
It seems our tactic's working, but we must make sure we contain it completely.
We can't let our guard down. Let's continue with the strategy until the creature's completely neutralized.
The space battle continued, but this time Owamo and Ewan had the upper hand. His sphere of combined energy continued to exert its purifying effect, dispelling the darkness that threatened Thraxus Nocturne. With each passing moment, the shadow creature grew weaker. The light of hope began to shine in the corner of the cosmos that was once on the verge of destruction. The shadow creature, weakened by Owamo and Ewan's strategy, retreated into space, its distorted form twisting as the combined energy sphere continued to purify the darkness that enveloped it. In a desperate attempt to regain his strength, the shadow creature began to explore its surroundings, looking for an opportunity to turn the situation in his favor.
My power is weakened here. I need to find a place where darkness prevails.
While exploring, the shadow creature noticed something that favored him. His eyes flashed with malevolent anticipation as he discovered that this world was called Thraxus Nocturne because it was a planet plunged into shadows. The dark entity smiled malevolently as he realized that this planet could provide the darkness needed to revitalize his power.
Ha 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 ha! Thraxus Nocturne, a feast of darkness awaits me!
With amazing speed, the shadow creature launched itself towards the planet, traversing space with great speed. Awamo and Ewin, aware of his intentions, followed closely, determined to stop any attempt by the shadow creature to plunge into the darkness of the planet. As the creature approached Thraxis Nocturne, the darkness of the planet seemed to intensify, as if responding to its presence. The planet's nighttime atmosphere shone with a faint luminosity, offering a fascinating contrast to the surrounding stars.
Ewin, we must prevent the creature from being filled with dark power. If she succeeds, it'll be even more difficult to stop her.
Understood, Awamo. We'll not allow the darkness of this planet to fall into the hands of that entity.
The shadow creature descended on Thraxis Nocturne with a terrifying impetus. As she approached, the darkness seemed to take her in, enveloping her with a gloomy welcome. The shadow creature began to absorb the darkness of the planet, its twisted form vibrating with a new energy as it filled with the essence of Thraxis Nocturne.
Ha 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 ha! Yes, this darkness will strengthen me. Nothing can stop me now.
Awamo and Ewin, wasting no time, headed towards the shadow creature, determined to stop its advance before it became unstoppable. The battle in the shadows of Thraxis Nocturne was about to take a very drastic turn.
We cannot allow this darkness to completely corrupt this creature. We must stop her before she becomes invincible.
Your previous strategy was effective, Awamo. Let's keep working together to counter his power.
Deep in the shadows of Thraxis Nocturne, the intense presence of the absorbing shadow creature did not go unnoticed by the most powerful warriors on the planet. Turles, Bardock, Raditz, Frieza, and his brother Cooler felt the darkness increasing around them and, with a mixture of amazement and concern, headed toward the epicenter of the threat.
Something's not right. The darkness in this place is getting denser.
Whatever it is, we cannot let it threaten Thraxis Nocturne. Let's investigate.
The warriors moved nimbly across the gloomy terrain, advancing towards the source of the darkness. As they got closer, the atmosphere became heavier, as if the shadow itself wanted to resist their advance.
The darkness is different. I feel a strange pressure. I'm not afraid of the dark, but this is unusual. Cooler, stay alert.
Understood, Frieza. Let's find out what's going on.
Suddenly, a wave of dark energy erupted before them, revealing the shadow creature that was absorbing the darkness of the planet. His twisted figure and malevolent aura were as evident as the threat he posed to Thraxis Nocturne.
Warriors of this planet, his darkness feeds me. Soon I will be unstoppable.
We won't let you destroy Thraxis Nocturne. Get ready, creature.
The warriors went on the attack, each unleashing their unique power against the dark entity. Turles unleashed his evil aura, releasing bursts of destructive energy. Bardock channeled his Saiyan fury into powerful blows, while Raditz and Cooler coordinated their attacks to create a symphony of destruction. Frieza intensifying the struggle.
This creature doesn't know who he's up against.
Your resistance is useless. Each blow only increases my power.
The shadow creature, powered by the darkness of Thraxis Nocturne, absorbed attacks with defiant ease. Each impact seemed to strengthen rather than weaken it, plunging the warriors into the disturbing reality that they were facing an enemy that fed on its own darkness.
It's not working. He's getting stronger and stronger.
We need to change our strategy. We can't let it absorb all the darkness on the planet.
While the warriors struggled to find an effective strategy, the shadow creature, with its distorted laughter, continued to absorb the darkness, becoming more and more powerful. The Battle of Thraxis Nocturne's survival was at its most critical, and the warriors knew that they had to find a solution before the dark entity became invincible. The dark aura released by the shadow creature enveloped the warriors of Thraxis Nocturne, gradually weakening them. The warriors struggled to stay on their feet as the entity's malevolent energy infiltrated their bodies, obscuring their vital forces.
This is it. Too much.
I can't let that defeat us like this.
The warriors, despite their bravery, were overcome by the darkness emanating from the aura of the shadow creature. At that critical moment, when hope seemed to be fading, a heavenly light pierced the shadows. Awamo and Ewin, the angels charged with protecting Thraxis Nocturne, arrived on the battlefield.
The darkness emanating from this creature is breathtaking. We cannot allow it to take over this planet. Time to show these warriors how to fight true darkness.
The angel spread his wings, and together with the god of destruction, they advanced towards the shadow creature, his presence radiating a luminosity that defied the malevolent nature of the dark aura. As it approached, the dark entities sensed the arrival of divine beings and turned to face the new threat.
More insignificant beings. His light will be devoured by my darkness. Don't underestimate the power of light. Darkness cannot resist the true essence of creation.
Awamo extended his hand, and a purifying light enveloped the battlefield, counteracting the dark effect of the creature's aura. Ewin, on the other hand, deployed the energy of destruction, creating a perfect balance between light and darkness. The shadow creature, for the first time, felt the pressure of forces that it could not easily absorb or resist. The conflict took a turn, and the battle became more intense as the angel and god of destruction faced the dark entity with the unique combination of light and destruction.
The real struggle starts now. We'll protect Thrax's Nocturne from the darkness you represent.
The fight between the angels and the shadow creature reached impressive levels, with bursts of energy illuminating the dark planet of Thrax's Nocturne. Meanwhile, the warriors, freed from the debilitating effects of the dark aura, watched the fight, hoping that their planet would not be destroyed. Well guys, this is all for today's chapter. I hope you liked it and it was to your liking. Now don't forget to leave your powerful like Supreme God level, comment and subscribe. Now without further ado, see you in a new video. Until next time.